Get us on into that Twitch.
Operator, can you hear me? Dial 629, please.
I don't see us on Twitch yet. Oh no, I hear us though. Great.
Oh.
You got our vocals like equalized.
Yeah, we already got somebody dialing in 629. So hey everybody, you want to see something really neat? Oh!
Our faces!
If you were here for the last one, you might be like, oh, they actually learned how to do something for once.
We got branding, we got colors. Look at our logo over there. No, over there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm like mirrored, so it's...
Yeah, no, me too. There. Right there.
That's you!
So, hello everybody.
Hi!
Welcome to our second in October live show.
And our first ever podcast live show.
Yep, we're just gonna chit-chat some stuff today.
This one ain't gonna have no games. It's just chatting.
Actually, if you'd like to see what we're chatting about, well, boom, here you go.
Boom.
I'm gonna have fun with these toys for a while. I hope you know.
I know it. I'm like excited about it. It looks really, it's super professional. I'm happy for us.
Like, it's gonna be a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. We were up late last night getting this together for you guys, so you're welcome.
Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with some more appreciation for my lovely co-host.
Me?
Can't do this without you. She's got the Photoshop, which can help us make a lot of this stuff. I was like, I can't do it. I can piece it together, but you gotta make the assets.
I mean, we can't do it individually. The both of us make this thing happen. So,
man,
cheers to that.
Uh-oh. I was getting ready for a different, but I have a Bucky's cup too, so...
Oh, a double buck. Buck.
Yours is what, coffee?
Yes, it is Bananas Foster flavored Bones coffee. It's delicioso.
Alright, I got a question.
What's up?
How much water do you drink a day?
I try to drink 4 of these.
Okay.
A YMBToAP water bottle.
And look, we got someone wearing a Bucky shirt too.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Richard has about 40 Bucky shirts, and I'm not even kidding. He's roughly 40. There's a lot of them.
Taylor has about 3, maybe 4. I have none, which is weird.
I have probably 3 or 4, which I think is a reasonable number of Bucky shirts for a Texan to own. But
you know what? Here, let's go ahead and swap this lid around.
Yeah, let's spin the lid around so you can see the Buckies. Let me do that too.
Yeah. Now,
my Bucky's harder.
See,
silver on white.
I liked yours, but I like this one because this is like the logo.
Yeah, I've got that one too. But I dropped it and the cup dented, so it doesn't like sit flat now. So every time it sits, it's like.
I wanted this in the big 40.
I got the 30.
But I think this is the 20, and it's
the 40's.
It's good, but like the 40 would be enough water for like the day. Man, I could just fill it up once and be done.
That's too fucking much. I drink so this is 32 ounces, and I try to drink 4 of them a day just to stay hydrated as shit.
All right, we got some more people.
Welcome to the chat. That's Ismail, our buddy.
So, I have watched a couple other scary movies lately.
Yeah.
Before we get into these particulars.
Okay.
Oh, and then look, we got Taylor from the van.
All right. Hello.
So, kind of based on us having to have watched these, because I feel like these 2 movies hit the top one, a specific fear for me, and then the second one, a specific fear for you.
I think all of humanity, honestly.
That one, I kind of have some problems with Contagion, but we'll get there.
Okay.
But so, Taylor's like, from my van down by the river!
Okay.
So Taylor got a bright idea in her mind to like, hey, you know, we watch spoopy movies all month long, right?
Yep.
Let's watch particularly spooky movies that affect each of us.
Ugh.
So she got a bunch of water movies for me.
No, Taylor. Cool.
and she got a bunch of like in the dark movies for her.
Okay.
And we watched one last night, and I gotta say, if you've never seen this movie, you gotta go watch it.
What is
Everybody. Guillermo del Toro had a hand in it, so you know it's already pretty good.
Shape of Water?
No, that's not spooky.
I mean, depending on your views of fish fucking, I've not seen it.
Oh, well, that's the extent of it.
Okay.
It's called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Okay.
And it's about tooth fairies.
Ooh, no.
Oh, it was so good. Oh,
what is
so
that
creepy.
movie? It's just called The Tooth Fairy, right?
Which one?
Darkness Falls.
No,
right?
Darkness Falls. Yeah.
Yes. I hate that movie.
That's like the best movie. It's the best. Yeah, Taylor's just about on that same point. She's like, fuck that movie. Like, she doesn't do that one. And so I was talking about it last night, and she's like, I think I repressed that movie because I don't remember anything that you're talking about.
The only thing I remember for that movie is when she's like hovering over the bed and she's all like black and spooky. And that's the only thing I can recall.
So there's that, and then her over the bathroom door when the kid's hiding in the bathtub.
I remember that one, yes.
Well, so she was trying to look up like tooth fairy stuff.
Okay.
And, I actually don't think this episode is live yet, but the one that comes out Monday, we talk about pumpkins and turnips and carving the different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In like the rest of the world, most like folklore tales and stuff like that, they're really kind of evil and bad.
Yeah.
And we made all of them really, really nice. Like the tooth fairy gives you money and stuff, right?
Tooth fairy's nice. She comes along, she's like, oh, a tooth, here's a quarter, and then leaves.
Kind of not like anywhere else.
Why?
I don't know, but like everything is evil like in every other part of the country. Like fairies are not nice, but we think of fairies as like really cute little people, you know?
I know. Like bringing up Guillermo del Toro again, that movie Pan's Labyrinth, where she goes into like, I don't know, Feyland, and then there's that huge feast, and that motherfucker at the end of the table is like sitting there with his hands, you know?
Yeah.
I hate that guy. That whole the whole like fairy world place fucks me up. I don't know. I like it a lot, but
Lev,
what?
He doesn't routinely consume media, so like
so
do you not
Lev is a special case.
Do you not watch Okay, so I don't watch a lot of TV. Like TV's kind of my down point. And books. I don't really consume a lot of books, but movies.
You're a movie guy.
Yeah, movies like all day long. I consume those very regularly. So what do you consume, or do you just have TV? No new music.
No new music even?
So what old music?
I'm confused. Okay, so you've explained to me why you don't do TV and movies, but now I'm confused about the music part because music.
I'm listening to Donna Summer like she came out yesterday.
That's not a crime.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't really listen to new music that much either, but it's more just because I don't really like new music most of the time. Not really. I mean, I do make a point to go. So, like, I use YouTube Music now, that app.
Yeah.
And I'll go to their, like, Explore page, and I look up, like, whatever the newest albums or newest singles are and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to a few, but I don't typically ever find myself going, ooh, I have a new artist that I like. Like, I don't really
just get
do that.
So all my new music I get from Alt Nation on Sirius XM.
Okay.
Not sponsored, just passionate. It's a good radio station.
Okay.
And Spotify recommendations have kind of been fucked up for me because we use a lot of like ambient music via Spotify for our board game nights, even though we haven't had a board game night now since, you know, the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
But so my Spotify recommendations are all like, do you want to listen to some haunted asylum sounds?
And you're like,
no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shower music.
All right, Lev, like do you speak Chinese, or is that just the music that speaks to your soul? Cause like, okay,
Chinese International Music Competition. That's
I just find
awesome.
that interesting. It's like, well, I don't really listen to music, but I like that music.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, I know lots of people that don't really do movies. It hurts
Really?
me to my core because I just love movies so much.
I think what would be a fun challenge for you that you could honestly never do because it would ruin you is just to see how long you could go without consuming a movie.
Oh man, that would suck. I watched
Yeah.
one today while I was eating lunch, getting ready to do this. I was like, I'll just see like what a Casino Royale's got going on here, and then I watched the whole thing.
See that movie 600 times.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up because I do love that song, Purple Rain. That is a very good song.
Oh man, that is a good song.
Okay, so actually, one of the new like explore music things. Miley Cyrus just went to some like music festival or something, and she did a cover of Heart of Glass by Blondie.
Oh yeah, I watched it.
I need her to do like a whole album of like Joan Jett, Blondie, Pat Benatar, like all that stuff, because her voice can nail it.
Oh good.
And it might be my favorite album of all time if she did that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that Heart of Glass was perfect, and I love Blondie.
Me too. And there's such a specific sound to that song that she brought like her own thing to it, but she didn't change it as much as like she could have, you know.
The rasp in her voice,
it's so good.
It's so perfect. I was like, that's how this song should sound. Is like this.
Like
I love
Blondie's version is like, you know, clear and crystal and like a light tone, but Miley brings that grit to it.
I have to write this down real quick so I don't forget later. It's my fancy pen.
Missy J?
Yeah, because I do want to look that up.
So Ismail watched Underwater last night at work just for this.
Oh man.
Thank you, Ismail. We appreciate your dedication.
I feel like I'm gonna have some hot takes on that one.
Oh no, okay.
Oops.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I'm excited. Okay. Should we?
I don't think people ever watch this fight live. They always hear like the edited down version on like the show.
I know.
So, I mean, if you're ready to get into it, I know Taylor really loved it.
All right. Let me pull up my my phone notes because I took notes on Google Keep like, while I was watching both of these movies.
Right there.
Let me get those.
See, when I watch a movie, if I'm kind of like enjoying it some, it just catalogs the whole thing. I got it. I remember like everything about both of them.
Like once media passes through my brain, it comes out the other side and it's gone.
And that was that's a great movie. What movie was that?
Exactly.
Totally gone.
All right, we're ready to crack into it.
And he read a summary of Contagion or watched one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, you don't need a summary of Contagion. It's happening.
Ready? All right, I need to get a little bit.
Listeners, are you guys cracking into anything with us? This is a good passion fruit.
Dr. Pepper tastes funny.
How does Dr. Pepper taste funny?
Some batches don't taste like Dr. Pepper for me. Sometimes they taste like root beerish a little bit, which is weird. And sometimes I'll get cans that just taste like beer.
Ew! You're like, buying the wrong
like
Dr. Pepper. No, I'm impressed with my my coordination. I did not intend to match my liqueur today, but I do.
Nice. So which one's that one? Pamplemousse?
Passion fruit.
Okay.
Fruit of the passion.
Pamplemousse. Alright, so hey guys, check this out as well. That's what we're talking about.
Share some screen footage. Isn't she so pretty?
She is a very face. Okay. Honestly, the first movie I ever saw with her was The Messengers, where like she lives on that farm.
The Messengers. I need to Google this one.
I think it's The Messengers. She lives on like a farm with her family, and a family was killed in there before they moved in.
Yeah.
And she
Okay.
starts seeing wild shit, and like
So young for a
scarecrow people
baby.
are like coming out of the barn later at the end.
I don't think I've
That's some wild
seen this
shit.
movie. I recall it, seeing previews, but I have not seen the
But
actual.
that is the name of it, right? The
Yes, The
Messengers?
Messengers.
Okay, cool.
2007.
Um
2007 fashion, man. The baby doll shirts, the
I
low jeans.
for real thought she was pretty all the way back then. Like as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, that is a pretty girl. And I've
Yeah,
always liked her since then.
so cute.
You know, I didn't really watch Twilight and stuff though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have seen them. I have seen them now. But she wasn't enough to draw me into those movies. Like they put me to sleep.
I always coveted her hair, like her luscious long hair, and then she cut it off and looks even better now. And I'm just like,
I
what
was
the
gonna
fuck?
say, let me see if I can find a picture of her hair in this movie.
What hair?
I thought you liked
It's
just like the super short, just blonde buzz cut.
I do. It looks really good on her, but like to call it hair is perhaps not the correct terminology.
You
God,
don't.
she looks so good. Why does she look so good bald? Makes me mad.
Oh man, hang on. I'm gonna shrink this just a little bit. We're hitting the
Yeah.
chat just a hair.
There we go.
Can I zoom in on these pictures? Ah, see, there you go. Yeah. Like, I kind of just want hair like that. I mean, you could just wake up, just and just be done. Just go.
I mean,
Just
you
go.
have hair like that.
Not really. Oh man, I found some hair that I did want. I watched Fright Night the other day, like that,
Fright Night?
like the '80s one.
Okay.
And I was like, I really want this like half mullet, half Arnold Schwarzenegger flat top. This looks great.
Oh, I want to see you in a mullet so bad. God. Yeah, I want that for you. I think that's a wonderful look.
Yeah.
Teeth and everything.
So come back to our lovely poster here. So we really wanted to see this movie when it was coming out.
Yes, and it came out when?
In January.
January? Yeah, so it was like pre-pandemic.
Because see,
I mean,
I remembered it coming out in December for some reason.
I knew it was like winter-ish, but I wasn't sure when.
I mean,
did they remake Fright Night in 2011? Sorry, I just got distracted.
That's the one I saw first with Colin Farrell. And if you haven't seen that movie,
yes, I've seen that. Okay,
that is a bomb movie.
Colin Farrell.
He really is one of the best people around. I love him in everything.
It's a weirdo.
He is, but it's okay. You know, Tom Cruise is a weirdo, and I still love him. So leave me alone.
Yeah, you're alone in that.
Yeah, I love him. So, so we have our lovely underwater poster, which, by the way, there's another one. Look at that.
Yeah, I like that one.
I don't like that one.
I know you don't.
Yeah, I'm changing. I'm not staring at that all day. I'll stare at this all day.
Should we just like break this movie down starting from the beginning and go through it?
So, how about you give me a rating first? Let's go 1 to 10. Let's go 1 to 10.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
I would give it 2 thumbs up because I would watch it again. I
thought mine was low with like a 7 because it's not a 6. The problems I have with it aren't really story related.
Yeah.
It's like movie making related. Like, I felt like this movie cut around a lot, and you were kind of like, how did we get to this?
Yes.
Like, how did we get from A to B here?
Right.
Like, you're not really giving me, like, it just felt like a series of moments just happening without the in-between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it did have a lot of, like, I see what you're saying. There wasn't a lot of, like, downtime to breathe in this movie. It was just like, we're here, and then we're there, and then we're here.
Yeah. See,
and visually, yes, I could not see anything at all. But I think that was an intentional choice, don't you?
So that's one of the things that I'm trying to, like, get better with on it. I'm like, okay, I'm trapped 7 miles underwater. It's pitch black. Maybe I'm feeling as disoriented as they are, so I'm not aware of every little detail that's happening.
Right, that's exactly how I felt.
I tried to take it that way, but the part that got me the most, It's when like the captain's gonna die, and he's helping the one guy that like the oxygen thing went bad in his suit.
Yeah.
And that one dragged him under. So the captain goes to get him, and it's like all of a sudden that guy gets dragged out. And I was like, but you didn't attach anything to. I don't know how he got out. And the next thing you know, they're flying in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, it was a lot
of shit is what got me.
Right. The one thing I think that it did really well is like atmospheric storytelling. So I like it when the headlines, like when a movie starts with just a bunch of headlines that are like, oh, there's drilling under the ocean and it's crazy. People are seeing stuff and we don't know what's what.
Yeah.
So that I love it when a movie opens like that because it just puts you right there and you're like, I know what's going on without any exposition. I can tell what's happening.
I will say this though. She opens with, when you're down here, it's hard to tell reality from dreams.
Yes.
And so the spider, I was like, okay, this is going to all be a dream. Because there's no way the drill's going to just straight up crack and break and the movie gets started 30 seconds into the movie.
Yes. So I was absolutely thinking like, okay, we're in a dream because she has that spider down there. Like, what the fuck is a spider doing 7 miles under the ocean or whatever?
But no, this movie starts 30 seconds in. They're like, oh, the disaster has struck. Let's go.
It's disaster time. And that's another thing that I liked. I was like, okay, we're in this. It's happening.
So the thing I really liked about it, honestly, was how it was shot.
Okay.
Like, there are so many just like slow, like when she gets blown back, like at the beginning. It's beautiful looking. There's a lot of silhouetted shots. There's just a lot of shots, still images in the movie that look gorgeous and amazing. I think it's one of the best shot movies I've ever seen.
There was this one shot that really reminded me. So like it's when she gets out of like being in the water for the first time, and she goes into that other abandoned station and the water is just like pouring down around her and she's like in fetal position on the ground, just kind of gathering herself. It really reminded me of that scene in Gravity when you see Sandra Bullock come back in from outside and she's just like spinning around like all fetal.
I love Gravity.
Me
That's
too.
One of my favorite movies.
That shot just like sticks with me. It's one of those things that I'll take forever,
Oh, that's the shot that I was like, damn, Sandra Bullock is more fit than I'll ever be.
I know. She's like 55.
Yeah. So Taylor said that she was pissed when he went back for the gun. He would have lived had he not done that. And yeah, dude, okay. Ismail, watching this movie, and I was like, this guy could really do a BioShock movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Big time, yeah.
So, hold on. So he went back for the gun, and he never ended up using it. But is that the same gun that Kristen Stewart uses in the end?
No, I think she found that in that abandoned place, because I was like, that gun's been there for who knows how long. That's not going to work, girl. But then it did, luckily. So
different gun,
yeah, because remember, they had like the weird like rivet gun kind of things.
Right.
And the gun she used at the end was a flare gun.
Yes. Underwater flare gun.
So,
but yeah, there's a lot that this movie did really well. And I think atmosphere is probably the biggest thing that it had going for it.
Yes.
Like, one of my favorite things that they do in either movies or video games is when there's like the world is ending and shit's bad and it's crazy. And then there's like a soothing robot over the PA being like, welcome to our drilling station.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not fine. I love that. And just
one of the things that was going to bother me, let me see if you felt the same. They were hiding these creatures from me a little too much.
Okay. So
at the start. But then we're getting like really into this movie and I'm like, I gotta know what you are. Show me something.
So here's the thing. One of my very most favorite movies is Cloverfield. And throughout that entire movie, you don't see the monster at all until like the very, very end. And that's what causes all the tension and all the like, what the fuck is happening? And like, is it a real monster? Is it like a plane crash? What's happening,
Clearly Cloverfield's a real monster. It's spitting out monsters from his elbows and shit.
I think that if at the end of this movie they had done a little Easter egg that was like, this is the Cloverfield universe, I would have been like, I would have like brought it home for me.
Is TJ Miller in Cloverfield too?
Is he really?
He sure. Yeah, he's the friend.
Oh, he's such a baby back then.
Wow.
Itty bitty baby boy.
For real, look at this face.
He's so tiny.
Like, look at that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't. Honestly, I've seen Cloverfield like twice.
I love Cloverfield so much. The movie, like, it's in my soul.
That was not one of my big ones.
It's so good. It's perfection.
It's kind of like this one for me. Like, I liked this movie.
Yeah.
Cloverfield is bigger to me because it really started, like, the shaky cam thing. Which, to me, got perfected with Quarantine. Because I love Quarantine. God, I love Quarantine. But, like, this one, we do finally get to see stuff.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, like, I need to know where it comes from, right? But at least show me something. I need to know that, like, we got to see something.
Lev asks shaky cam, like The Office.
I guess. Because I don't
more
watch
like
The Office.
I mean, The Office is just, like, it's a handheld shot, so it's not, like, perfection, you know? Shaky cam is more along the lines of, like, found footage or shit's happening and therefore the camera is like
I thought you didn't watch TV.
Me?
No. Lev. He's talking about The Office.
No.
Yeah, so kind of like the home movie thing.
Yes. Yeah. Like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. I've seen clips.
Okay.
I've actually never really watched The Office, so I didn't really dig that style, and I didn't get into Parks and Rec either, so.
I think Parks and Rec is streets ahead of The Office. It's much better.
Yeah.
So watch that one if you're going to watch either one.
I'll watch one. One day.
One day.
Haley's is The Office. She loves that one.
Like, I mean, The Office isn't a bad show by any means until a certain point, and then it gets bad. But anyway, back onto Cloverfield slash.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like it's an awkward show. So it's like either it lands or it doesn't land. You know? Like, it depends on if you can find that person's awkward feeling funny at the time, kind of thing for me. And I didn't. I didn't. I was told it was the funniest show of, like, all time. I watched it and was like,
it's not.
Okay.
It's wildly overrated.
Sure. But, like, so with this movie, I was getting a little frustrated that as much as they would tease a monster, we never got there, you know?
One of my favorite parts of it, though, is when they, like, first get out in the water and they're walking around in those fucking big-ass superhero suits, which was very cool to see them put those on, by the way. They're just, like, going into battle. But, no, one of my favorite parts is when they're, like, walking out there and they're like, do you hear something? And then they're kind of looking around and the light from their helmets is shining in a way that, like, you can see the eyes of the creature just the edge of the field of vision. And I'm just like, it's there. Look closer. It really got me. I love it.
Are you really going to skip over the guy that imploded?
Oh my God.
So they are 7 miles below the ocean surface, and it says in your opening, like, newspaper clippings that just flash by, it's like 8 tons per square inch of pressure.
Yeah, so you know that's going to come into play somewhere, because why would that MacGuffin
this little square, 8 tons of pressure pushing in on that at all times? Can you imagine that?
That withstands that.
That's a hellified suit. Taylor even said at one point, she's like, that glass looks way too thin for those helmets.
Yes. My buddy, man.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, like, when he was, like, fucking with that bunny and just being like, it's my little guy, and, like, he has him in his little fanny pack, and he's like, do you want your bunny heater? Like, breathing on him and shit. It was very, like at first I was like, this is gonna get annoying, but then I was immediately like, this is so endearing, and I love this guy, and I can't wait to get out alive.
They did this just to make us sad.
I know.
That's
so
why we did this.
Literally in my notes, my fucking notes, I wrote down, I'm so glad there's comic relief in this movie. There goes the comic relief. Yep. Like the second that I started to get attached to him, they fucking kill his ass.
That is a thing that I wanted to ask you about. So basically the place crumbles to shit.
Yeah.
Which we find out why later. But they escape and they're like, best chance, we gotta walk across the ocean floor to get to this other station, and then we can ride where we need to go. Right?
Uh-huh.
And so when they reach the other station, they're riding the thing, and they come to like a roadblock. And Bunny Man starts being attacked by one of these things when we still haven't seen it yet, right?
Yeah.
It rips him through the leg hole of his suit.
Yeah.
Did you gather that?
I couldn't figure out exactly what happened, because they did say like later on, like it ripped him out of his suit. What kind of a creature does that?
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, how did it happen? So like, did they take off the foot of the suit and just fully like feed him through like a big piece of spaghetti? Or
I think so, because what happened? All right, so he was being pulled, and you see him like hitting the bottom of the suit, like his body's being pulled down. They show you the leg get ripped off, and then the blood just fills up the face, right?
Yeah.
But then later they said he got ripped out of the suit, not just the leg. So yeah, I think they ripped his leg off. Now there's a leg hole in the suit, and they slurped out the rest of him.
Disgusting.
Which I guess would make sense after we see them try to eat Kristen towards the end there.
That was my favorite shot of the movie, when that thing is just like unhinging its jaw and just like like getting her.
Taylor
I was like,
hated it.
Worse. It was so like deeply fucked up, and at the same time one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a movie. And then she's got that gun next to her face, and I was like, there's no way you shoot that and it doesn't wreck your suit.
But it's a flare gun, so it'd be fine.
I mean, I guess. I just feel like, first of all, how does a flare gun go off at the bottom of the Mariana Trench? But
I mean, people fire flares underwater. That's like a signaling thing.
Is it?
Yeah. Nathan Drake does it in Uncharted 3, but it's also like
real.
Probably like 20 feet of water right there. I mean, it's not like 8 tons of pressure.
Yeah.
So, but you have to assume if they can build a drill that's literally as tall as the ocean floor to the top of the water, which it was, all the way down.
Ridiculous.
And they have suits that let you walk on it. They know how to make a fucking flare gun that can shoot underwater there too.
I guess.
Kind of. Like, you have to accept that too then.
Yeah.
Right? You can't be like, that's the one science piece I'm not taking.
That's the one I'm gonna leave behind. I don't like that. I don't believe it.
Okay, see, Taylor's mentioning something here that messes me up with some stuff. She said that the second where you see his head get squeezed through is just burned in her mind.
Yeah.
I have so many movies where there's just like one horrific act that like it's burned in there. Like it scarred me kind of, you know?
What's the other one that's coming to mind?
Oh, for me, actually, the movie Life. It has Jake Gyllenhaal.
With Eddie Murphy?
No. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, and some other people. It takes place in space.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see that, but Richard wouldn't let me.
I don't want you to watch it.
You sound like my husband.
I just don't want you... I don't think you would like it.
Why?
I mean, I think you would like it, but, like, it would not sit well with you.
Okay.
There's a scene from that movie burned in my mind. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this one piece, but Ryan Reynolds doesn't make it through the movie. Okay. And the way he dies, I mean, I've seen people die in this type of fashion, but never as real as that. The way he sold it, like, it fucked me up. Kind of like that, and one of the movies Taylor's gonna make me watch is Poseidon, where the cruise ship flips upside down.
Yeah, isn't that a super old movie?
Yeah, so there's one from 1972, and then they remade it.
Cheesy as hell, and it's so good.
Okay, good. I love that movie.
It's good. It's campy. I love it.
Gene Hackman gives one of the best monologues of all time in that movie. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, but no spoilers, because Taylor, I didn't tell her who this happens to.
Okay.
But there's a person in Poseidon that drowns. And up to that point in films, I had never seen a person drown that realistically.
I hate watching drownings in movies.
And it, for real, like, for a solid week, I was, like, messed up inside. Like, ugh. It shook me to my core that bad. Yeah. It fucked me up.
Man, okay, so you remember, I think a couple of shows ago, we were talking about when a person goes underwater in a movie and you try to, like, hold your breath for the length that they're underwater. Mm-hmm. I was holding my breath this whole movie.
Oh my god. And you're here, you did it! You did it!
I did it! An hour and 30 minutes, you can do it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I just watched that scene today, Ismail, and that kind of still hurts my feelings too.
You've agreed in Casino Royale?
Yeah. That part's not fun. But, yeah, like, sometimes, like, the realistic death stuff like that is just a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get to the phobias in movies as our third topic piece later, and I'll talk about some things that kind of mess with me.
Yeah.
But, thankfully, I didn't see too many people, like, drown in this movie. It was more...
It was all just super violent.
This movie reminded me of The Core. Did you ever see that?
Yes, where they're, like, drilling down to the center of the earth.
Yeah.
Got, Kevin Bacon?
No, that's Armageddon.
Oh yeah.
No, this one's
but I've
like
seen
random
the
people
Core for sure.
Yeah. This one really reminded me of that. It had a lot of like, all right, you got a team trying to accomplish something. There's a lot in their path, but like one person kind of dies at each stage to make the rest of them progress.
Right. Because it was like Willy Wonka.
Core. Yeah. Like the guy that implodes. I was like. Kind of reminds me of the dude that just burned alive in the core. That's cool. That's sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are walking through the water some more after TJ Miller gets slurped out like a noodle. And then they basically have to walk across the ocean floor again to get to to get to the real place they're trying to go to.
Right.
And I'm so impressed by the girl that was so anxious to go down there to begin with. She pushed through so good. She did very good. I was happy
for her. I have a question for you. So, you know what the Bechdel test is?
The what?
Bechdel test?
No.
Okay, so the Bechdel test is like a measure of a movie where it has to have, in order to pass the Bechdel test, it has to have two female characters that have a conversation with each other that's not about a man.
Okay.
Does this movie pass that test? This is the one thing about this movie that bugged me, like, more than anything else, I think, is... So it definitely has the two female characters, and they do talk to each other, which I can't figure out if their conversations were far enough removed from the concept of being in a relationship to consider it passing the Bechdel test.
Then no, it didn't, because while she was telling her to be... like strong and like you can make it through, she was still holding on to the ring from her dead husband and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it was still like about it. And then her whole reason for her saving her at the end is go be with your man since mine's gone.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I cannot let this movie get away with. Like, you have these two female characters. There was so many opportunities in there for them to just like. They did talk about their dogs.
They did, yeah. They had a whole... while they were dragging her boyfriend, so... I guess technically he was part of the conversation.
Yeah, I just don't think there was enough, like, meaningful conversation.
Like,
but I guess...
Are you saying you need, like, a whole scene? Like, alright, let's have a whole scene with them that in the whole time... It doesn't need to be a whole scene. They never once bring it up.
I don't know. I think there was an opportunity for her to be like, you don't have to be scared. You're a strong person. You can do this. And there was never that moment.
I actually don't know that she told her that, because the person that told her she could make it was TJ Miller.
Yeah. exactly.
He's the one that said, you got this, I promise. You're fine.
Yeah.
He's the one that really had her back, because Kristen was over there, like, freaking out about stuff.
Yeah.
So, actually, I don't know. I think that dog conversation might be the only one.
I think so.
But no, because while walking, she goes, so what happened to him? And brought up the ring that she was wearing.
That's about a ban.
Yeah, so really, no, they never did.
Right.
They never had a true conversation that didn't revolve around that.
Right. So that bugged me for a movie in 2020 to have two female characters that don't ever have a single conversation that doesn't revolve around a man.
See, I need to note that kind of thing, because I told you how I like movies now where your female character isn't always getting with somebody that's in the movie by the end. Yes. Which is why I liked Into Spider-Verse so much, because she was like, hey, right. We're just friends, right? Like, she was like, we're cool now, and they were just friends by the end. And they're really good friends. And that cinched that movie for me.
There's so many movies that shockingly do not pass this test. Like, it's bizarre. You don't actually
like the woman in the fridge thing. Do you know about
woman in the fridge?
The woman in the fridge thing?
No.
So women in comic books are like exclusively there to die to be motivation for your male characters is kind of the gist, and it's called The Woman in the Fridge.
Why in the fridge?
Because in one of the earliest comic books, one of these guys' wives was like killed and shoved in the refrigerator at their home, and that like caused him to go do the great thing that he needed to do. She's like the first pioneer woman that was like the big death to make somebody do what they needed to do later. So it's just known as the woman in the fridge. So you go, is this character a woman in a fridge or no? And most of the time they are. You know, like they're there to die, like Gwen Stacy was for Spider-Man. She died.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Women are just like fuel for men to do the thing they need to do, I guess, in movies and comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting to a better place in society, ladies. We can do it.
And Taylor's like, well, there wasn't a lot of good dialogue anyway. It was more like, let's keep walking.
You know? So there wasn't like a lot of they didn't have downtime to be like talking about their hopes and dreams. But
I mean, how long do you think this movie took
to film?
No, like
the span of hours that the movie
catastrophe starts. Pods get sent up to the surface. How long is this movie? 4
So
hours?
The actual movie itself was roughly an hour and a half. I think that the span of time covered was probably 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Because I'm just trying to like measure it out a little bit. Everything happens so fast in the beginning.
And then we skipped a lot of stuff. Like we didn't watch them walk the full length of the walking time, because they had to walk like half of like 2 miles.
And there's a point early on when Kristen Stewart meets up with the captain, and she says, I was just brushing my teeth a couple hours ago.
Oh, that's true. So
we know that at least 2 hours have passed by that point in time.
Let's say like 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours total.
Yeah.
What a horrible day.
What a horrible day.
So, all right, so they're trying to walk to the last big place, and Kristen gets separated because her and the captain get pulled up into...
Where were they getting pulled up? Like, was it a monster that was grabbing the captain and taking him, or was it...
Okay, so that's what I was saying. Like, they don't show this very well. But the deal was, so one of the guys' suits, his, like, oxygen filter kind of breaks in the back. And so he's getting, like, dirty air filtering through his suit. So it's like, so it's like killing him. And one of the creatures takes him and, like, hauls him up under, like, this rubble. And the captain and Kristen Stewart go to get him.
Right.
And the captain, like, has Kristen tethered to him by this cable. And I thought he was going to use the cable to attach it to the guy, and she was going to drag him out.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what happened, but then the creature grabs the captain, and Kristen just flies off with him. Because she's tethered to him. Still. Okay. Which I was like, why isn't she tethered to the other... Like, see, it's things like this. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
You didn't show this stuff. But yeah, so they were tethered. One of the creatures took the captain, and so she was just like along for the ride, Spider-Man style, just flying along on the back, you know.
Okay.
And so Captain dies because, you know, he was wounded enough already, like he wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And then she kind of falls to a separate place away from the other two people that were left alive.
Yeah.
And so she finds the abandoned place, and that's when you get your shot, where she like strips out of the things, trying to get her air back because her air was breaking too.
Right.
And she gets so actually Ismail, I thought this when I was watching that movie. She goes to the old abandoned place and starts grabbing old suit pieces to make a new suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, getting that old original Big Daddy armor. Okay. Just like BioShock did. I thought about BioShock quite a bit throughout this movie.
I mean, it was very BioShocky.
Yeah. And so then she's all like super tough, got her new suit, and she's like, I'm going to go meet them at the place.
Yeah.
But that was actually one of the parts that got me. We have the like really scared girl walking with her boyfriend who's like essentially dying and passed out.
Yeah.
And she's now so lost in the blackness that she's like talking to herself and kind of going crazy.
So I kind of read it as she was almost talking to him to kind of keep him aware and awake, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know you have a Hawaiian shirt for every day of the week and like just kind of talking about.
I think that's why we wanted subtitles because like
yes.
I did not hear that line.
This movie required subtitles.
What she was saying while she was like, "Is that you? Are you saying things?" We didn't really know what she was saying.
I watch every movie that I can with subtitles because I feel like I don't get the full concept of the film if I'm not reading it. Okay. Like I'll miss bits of dialogue. I don't remember characters' names if they're spoken out loud. If I read them, I'll maybe remember them.
Okay.
But saying that out loud, I don't remember a single character's name in this movie. It was just like Kristen Stewart and T.J. Miller, and
I know that she was Nora.
Nora, yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm bad at names, but yeah, I need subtitles. I can't focus on a movie unless it has subtitles.
Do you know that's kind of why I don't like Game of Thrones?
Because
I don't know anybody's name. It's like there's too many people here. Can't.
There's a lot of people.
I can't do it. So, okay. Alright, so I thought she was just like talking to herself, kind of crazy. But, alright, so she was kind of talking to him, but she's kind of losing it because when she like gets to her, she's like, ah, 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 like,
well, Kristen Stewart like tackles the shit out of her for no reason at all. She's just like, it's me. Do you remember me? It's me.
I haven't seen you in like 20 minutes. Maybe more time's gone by than we think.
I don't know. Like, how long can they survive down there in their suits with their oxygen? We don't have a concept of that. So.
I think it showed a time for oxygen at one point. I think maybe that's about 10 hours in each suit.
Whoa. Okay.
So I'm gonna say maybe from her going to the abandoned place and meeting up with her. What if like 2 hours goes by? Can you imagine 2 hours of dragging your significant other behind you in pitch blackness? You've just seen like 3 of your friends. You've seen one implode, one get slurped out of a suit, the captain and one of your friends just fly off into the air.
The oxygen alarm.
Like, I don't know what to do. You know?
Yeah. That oxygen alarm did drive me nuts. Just constant like, bong, bong, and the suits are flashing red, and you're just like, okay, the oxygen's low. I get it.
You should do it where it like soothes you, because if you panic a person, they're gonna breathe more and use up more oxygen.
Yeah, your suit's like, you can't breathe.
I can't. Yeah, you're gonna freak out.
Stress.
So she meets up with the other girl, and then they get where they're going. They get to the big place. Yeah. And they're all asleep, waving around like a sea anemone.
That shot! Oh my god. That
was
that
like,
fucked me up.
Yeah. So
it's like, how are you gonna get through that minefield of like algae folk?
That's a line that I heard, and Taylor didn't, because one of the the other girl, she said, "Oh, they're like sleeping or hibernating," and then Taylor's like, "Why aren't they moving?" I was like, "I think she said they're hibernating," but it was really quiet. Yeah. So yeah, subtitles would have really helped out in that thing. I love the suits, though. Oh yeah, has your
health bar.
Has your health bar.
Yeah. That was a cool suit. Like I like to see how movies handle futuristic technology, and this was a particularly cool application of it.
Okay, question. Because Taylor asked this moment one. Moment one the movie started. How far in the future is this?
I think it's not very far in the future. I think it's like a pretty contemporary setting, maybe like 20 years perhaps.
I was like, let's say it's 2080.
Yeah, so, I don't know, something
60 years down the road. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I didn't see this as like the far future. I saw this as like
3
today. Yeah. But they figured out this piece.
And they or like an alternate timeline even, like it's happening in 2020, but like in a universe where we have cool underwater drill capabilities.
So they get to your landmine of monsters.
Yes.
Right? What were they attached to? Was there a ceiling there?
So here's the thing. At this point, Kristen Stewart like fires that flare gun into the distance, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. So when they're walking through it, they end up like hitting on some stuff, and this is when that big fucking critter comes down and tries to vor her up, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, when she fires the flare gun, the like ceiling of critters gets lifted up. I think
so they were just under one of the arms at the point.
That's what I'm thinking. It was like the arm of the monster that they were like feeding on it or attached in some way.
Okay.
I like the Cloverfield monster.
Yeah. So, I got a lot of vibes from that too.
So what did you think though when she fires that flare gun and you see
the thing?
The thing, like the big monster reveal.
That's when I was finally like, all right, we're here. We made it. Like, it's time.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like, ooh, there it is. That's the monster. That's what we're seeing.
Like, see, I don't need to have it explained. I don't need to know what this thing's doing 7 miles below the ocean surface. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I did get to see a good amount of it.
We synced it. And the monster.
That, like, quelled me some. Like, I felt better, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Water sucks. Just don't go there, ever. Don't ever go in the water, ever. It's the stupidest thing you can ever do.
And bury in a trench. Like, don't do it.
That's where, isn't that where Pacific Rim goes down to?
I have no idea.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's in the Marianas Trench, too, and that's where all the creatures are coming through from another dimension and shit.
I mean, that's where all the bad shit is in the world. We don't know what's down there. That's why we don't go down there.
It's the deepest part on the planet. And we can't go down there. We can't go down there. No, like, God has told us it's a bad idea. We can't, like, physically get down there.
Yeah.
It's too hard for us to go.
Didn't James Cameron, like, venture a little bit into it or something?
Kind of, but I don't know if he ever made it, like, down there.
He went into, like, a weird submarine and was like, let's go down, which is the weirdest thing, perhaps, a movie director has ever done.
Yeah, but he's a crazy man, though. He does wild shit.
Crazy man.
So Ismail's saying, when you finish this, watch this on this movie. I'm gonna click this real quick.
Okay.
And it is
This video can't get very far.
So Kelsey will love this video. So the video that Ismail just gave us, it says, Underwater 2020 is secretly about Cthulhu as a metaphor for grief.
Yes, that's exactly what I got from it, actually, because the whole time, at the very end of the movie, when Kristen Stewart is like, all right, there's 2 pods, I guess I'm going to stay here and conquer this shit, and I'm going to let everybody else move on.
Yeah.
That is her dealing with her grief. Like, she explains it verbally out loud, like beating the listener over the head with the metaphor a little bit, but I think it worked, and I enjoyed it.
Like, I don't know that I would ever get the urge to watch this movie again. I liked it, but it's definitely not one I'm gonna like write home about down the road. I don't think. Taylor, I think, really loved it, so she probably will.
For me, this one hit a lot of good key notes. Like, it had a strong woman in it, which I love, and it had a Cthulhu underwater monster, which I love.
I know.
It had a grander metaphor for things, like the grief thing, which was super awesome. And I don't know, it just...
So your one thing is that it doesn't pass the test.
It doesn't pass the Bechdel test. So that like, bugged me.
But still, like, one strike is not a lot, though.
Yeah, it's one big feminist strike, but you know.
Yeah.
It was good. This movie for me was like eating candy. It was just satisfying. It wasn't
just fun
for me.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, and I want to do it again.
So she actually did what I thought she was gonna do when the girl was like, "I'm gonna stay here with you." I thought to myself, just punch this girl in the face and get her in the pod, because you know you're gonna stay. Force her in there, and man, she did. She said, "Bah!" Punch that girl in the face and sent her off to be happy. But she had to kill herself so they would live, because otherwise those creatures were gonna go get the pods and they wouldn't have made it either.
Which was a nice poetic ending to things.
Yeah.
I did have a moment where I was like, you could fit 2 people in that pod. You could both squeeze in there. You're small ladies. You can get in there together.
Me and Taylor said the same thing. We were all like, Rose, the door is big enough. Let him on there. But they would have all died.
They would have all died. Yeah, exactly. So they did have that in the end to be like, this is why you couldn't fit in the pod with her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, for me, 2 thumbs up, 7.5 out of 10.
I will give it 1. It was good. I mean, it was good. I cannot say I hated it by any means.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I would come back. And not because it's water. Not because water, because I watch plenty of water movies consistently.
Yeah.
But I think it just needed a bit more strength in the filmmaking side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think they could have used a bit more. Let's, like, explain this better. Sound guys could have used a little work and amped up some dialogue a little bit from time to time.
Yes.
Because,
oh, man, okay. So one thing about the dialogue.
If this is a candy movie, why make it so realistic? You know? Like,
yeah.
It's not like a true drama. Like, no, we're putting you in it like it's real. Like, this is still a bit like, hey, this is a fun time.
Yeah.
So amp up the dialogue. Let's just hear it all the time. You know what I mean?
True. So this movie was PG-13, which means they get 1 fuck. You get 1.
Okay.
And they used it so correctly. It was perfection. It made me very happy.
What did he do again? Wasn't it TJ that did it?
I think it was Kristen Stewart. So when she's like getting vored up by that thing and she like shoots it, she's just like, fuck.
Oh.
It was perfect. I was like, yes, that's where you use the fuck.
Man, that part did kind of get me. I mean, it was just...
It was so good. It was like a snake swallowing an egg.
Man. So, I would like to know what these things are, though. Like, what's up with them?
Trench demons. I don't know.
They're gone now. She blew them up. They gone.
Blasted them.
I mean, the big one. And that big one was smart as shit, because as soon as the core starts going, he goes, I gotta get out of here. And you see him trying to run off before he gets exploded.
Yeah, she like looks at him too, and she's like, you have 60 seconds. And it's like, oh shit, I have to go.
I mean, you come face to face with that thing. What is your thought?
I'm going to die.
I would be like,
and that thing is large and I'm very small.
Shit. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Not even good. I mean...
Absolutely terrifying.
See, I saw this poster before the movie came out, because a lot of people were wondering, are there going to be creatures down there, or is it just like a realistic thing? Yeah, like nobody knew, but I knew it was going to be some type of monster.
Yeah.
Because I found this poster before it came out.
Right. A lot of people thought it was going to be like a megalodon, but I'm glad it wasn't.
Because we already had the Meg. Like, no more duplicate movies. You know how like movies always come out like in pairs. So I'm glad this was like its own thing, though.
Yeah, it was, I think, a success.
This movie gave me a lot of The Descent vibes. Did you ever see The Descent?
No, I'd like to, because it's one of those movies that I think is up my alley, but it's also one that's probably gonna fuck me up.
It is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
Hands down, and it is an all-female cast.
What?
That
one's gotta pass.
It is a female French movie.
Really?
It's not in French, but it is from France. Like, it's a French movie, so it's fucked up and dark.
Pull up the cover for that one real quick because that is really cool.
Which one you got? Because
it's like
several.
A skull, but not a skull.
But with the bodies?
Yeah. That's very cool.
I love I saw that movie when it first came out, and it is still to date one of my all-time favorite movies.
Thing.
It's a little bit of a perfect movie.
Yeah, that's a perfect poster right there.
But you have to watch the unrated because they go super French and super just depressing ending.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Is it available on where can I find The Descent?
Let me see.
It's on Tubi for free. What the fuck is that? It's on Amazon for
Amazon Prime for free. Yeah, please go watch this movie.
Okay.
Dude, this is a good movie. So the new Tomb Raider game, when they redid all the Tomb Raider games, stole a piece from this movie to put in their game. I mean, like, because it was a big female protagonist. We got Lara Croft, one of the females, right?
Yes.
And they pulled an inspiration from one of the female scary movies. I mean, there's a clear scene reference that's in that game from this movie.
Cool. All right.
They knew about that movie. It's so good. But same kind of vibe. They're in a place that they're not familiar with, and there's like something in the dark kind of thing. So I was getting big Descent vibes. Plus we had like a female lead with Kristen Stewart, you know. So I just kind of was like, all right, we get, you know, this guy probably liked that movie and didn't make as good a one.
Right.
Because at the same time, we do have like The Creature. I don't like movies that like tease something and then you never get anything.
I like that in a way. I don't know. I love to be monster blue balled. Like, ooh, what was it? I'll never know.
What was the one? I think it was called The Last Exorcism.
Yeah.
And this little girl is like possessed by something, and so it's this preacher that has been proving that exorcisms are fake, like his whole career.
Okay.
And he comes to this little girl to prove she's faking it. It's not real because that stuff doesn't exist. And at the end of the movie, you find out it's real, and then it just ends, and you never get to see what happens.
Okay.
Like, it finally starts to really happen, and he goes, oh my god, and then it just stops. And I was like, well, you ruined everything. You ruined my life.
Yeah, I don't like
Never
watch
this
that.
Again.
Okay.
You don't have, like this movie. They didn't tell me where it came from. They didn't really tell anything about it. You just got to see, like, there's something there. There it is.
Yeah. And then the ending.
And I'm good.
The ending credits when they run the newspapers again, and they're like, 2 survivors, and they show like the little fucking bunny and the like tape measure. It's like, that's so cute and sad.
But yeah, they covered it up, and they're gonna rebuild the drill.
Yes, they're just gonna humanity, man. This is I thought it was a really good ending because we learned nothing.
That's the part that I really liked. Oh well, no, they just don't care.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They're like, well, that happened. Do it again.
I don't think they know about the big one because the only one that saw the big one
died.
Yeah, because I don't know that the other girl really got to see the big thing.
Yeah. This mail says part 2, damn it.
With who? The bunny?
Yeah. Starring the tiny bunny.
Part 2 is we see part 1, but from his point of view the whole time. Just like in the suit, getting breathed on.
They're just like, down on top of you. I don't want that.
So, I'm gonna go with one thumb. I really thought my 7 was low, but I'm really nice to rating movies.
Yeah,
like a 5 is like almost you're just unbearably bad.
A 5 is unbearably bad for you?
I guess so, because I feel like if it's under that, man, like what was the point of this?
The bunny was alive the whole time.
You didn't know. Yeah, I'll stick with the 7 because it's 7 miles below. That works.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, on to Contagion.
So, yeah, let's boop boop flash a little thing here. Wonder if I can type a little check mark in there. That would be pretty funny.
So while you're trying to figure that out, I'm going to pull out my Google Keep Notes for Contagion because, I mean, I watched this movie when it originally came out in 2011.
Yeah.
And I remembered enough of it, but so I got into this movie maybe 15 minutes and I was like, I don't want to be watching this anymore. This is bad. This is making my soul hurt.
Taylor straight up said, well, she was quiet the entire movie. She was just like watching. And as soon as it ends, she goes, I'm glad I didn't watch this when like COVID started. She's like, I really would have lost my shit.
Yes. So there was like a whole thing in March when we all went into quarantine. Everyone was like, let's watch Contagion. There was just
everybody was watching Contagion.
Everybody was watching it. If I had watched that movie in March, I would be dead right now. Like I would have panicked myself to death.
Man, look at this lovely lady.
Marion Cotillard.
Oh man. Like she came on and I go, oh, it's Marion Cotillard. Taylor's like, why do you know who that is? And like, that's her full name. I was like, she's the wife in Inception. Yes.
Oh my god.
That's what I know her from.
She's so pretty and her accent is so wonderful.
She's just really good.
Actress.
She was like the original Ana de Armas for me.
Yeah.
Because like Anna's kind of like the new version, you know?
The big eyes and the accent.
Yeah.
The dark hair. This movie is star-studded and I had forgotten that.
So like I got up to go get a drink partway through it and I just hear Taylor go, Bryan Cranston!
Yes! I forgot he was in this movie. Yeah. Was she also in The Dark Knight Rises? Marion Cotillard?
Should I make Ismail not like me anymore?
Uh-oh. What are you gonna do?
No, I've never seen that one.
Really?
Well, that's part 3, and I chose to take a nap during the theater viewing of that movie.
Have I seen that one?
Because
Dark Knight.
I didn't really care for those movies all that much.
2012. Who's the Batman in that one?
Christian Bale, and that's the one with Bane.
You never saw that movie?
No.
I thought we saw it together.
Yeah, and I went to sleep.
Okay.
I for real was like, I'm not interested. So I just kind of like went to sleep and he just got thrown in the hole. And I remember I woke up and I went, he's still in this hole? I've been asleep. Whatever. Went to sleep and then like I woke up for the end. And then I like woke up for the end and like watched it from there. But that's all I really remember.
I just like Bane because he's so beefy. And he talks like this.
Oh, I'm gonna blow up this place. Oh, you haven't watched that yet. So,
but that was bizarre.
In the new Harley Quinn show that I was telling you about, he's in it, and he's like the one that everybody picks on. Like every villain picks on him, like he's the lowest tier guy.
Oh.
And so his like repeating joke throughout the whole show is like, when he doesn't get his way somewhere, he's just gonna blow that place up.
He's like Milton from The Office.
Yeah, so like he's at a bar, and he's all like, "Oh, can I get an apple daiquiri, please?" And they're like, we don't have any of those." And he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna blow up this bar." And then like he's at a bar mitzvah, and somebody makes fun of him. "I'm gonna blow up this bar mitzvah." And he just constantly does that shit the whole time. It's the fucking funniest thing ever. And now I say it for everything. If anything goes wrong, we're gonna blow up this YMBToAP stream.
Okay.
It's the best. But yeah, so that's all I really care about for Bane is the Harley Quinn show, not this movie.
All right.
But anyway,
I don't even remember like why we got down that. Oh, because of Marion Cotillard.
All right, so I will let you lead this one because I feel like you might have a lot more to say, being scared.
So the opening scene of this movie, she's like in an airport and she's sweating and she's at like a bar and there's this bowl of nuts at her elbow and she's just like drinking and just like and just like touching everything.
That's one of my favorite things about this movie. The camera always lingers on something you touch that will spread it to somebody else.
I know,
they do it
it's
every time.
And the camera has a way of just making you be like, I see it and I hate it.
Yeah. There's nothing here, but I know it's there. you know?
Yeah, there's nothing here, but I know it's gonna kill like a million people. It just...
I think Taylor got fucked up. So that's Gwyneth Paltrow. She's like the first person to die from it.
Yeah.
And then her son dies from it not too long after. And
yeah, like 12 hours later.
I think that really hit Taylor. Because, I mean...
The son?
Yeah. Like, the dad just runs home and it's like already done.
Oh,
and
man,
it's like, disease does not discriminate, man. I take out whoever I get in, you know?
The babysitter, though, like...
Yeah.
For one, I felt bad for the person, like... For the person that would be babysitting a child that dies of a seizure. But at the same time, like... The acting of that person wasn't that great. It was just like, is he dead? Very convincing.
Now I can't watch this movie. You ruined it. Is he dead?
Is he dead? Yeah, he had a seizure. There's foam coming out of his mouth. Yeah. He's dead. Man.
Yeah, there's like too many people in this movie.
So the blog dude who's like, internet journalism is real journalism. So first of all,
good old Jude Law.
It took me so long to identify that was Jude Law. I was like, who is this snaggletooth Brit? Googled him and I was like, that's Jude Law.
Taylor even goes, that's not his real teeth, right? And I was like, I don't think so. I think that was like movie teeth.
It must have been, because that one tooth is just like 45-degree angle in his mouth. Yeah. But yeah, I stared at everything everyone touched because of this movie. Like I agree. It's got a way of making you like, and there's just that one point where Kate Winslet is like, quit touching your face. And the whole movie, I'm just like,
I know.
Okay, I'll quit touching my face.
I was just going to say, I've been counting. You've touched your face like 4 times since we started talking about this.
I'm constantly touching my face. Like, this is what happened to me at the beginning of the pandemic, too. Because the CDC was like, don't touch your face. Everybody touches their face like 3,000 to 4,000 times a day. And I'm just like, I touch my face all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
So... I'm going to continue to touch my face throughout this stream and throughout my life because that's just how I live. But
it happens.
It happens, unfortunately. But so this movie has been praised in 2012 because it closely mirrored the coronavirus outbreak. You know, it looks it's so similar because it came from, you know, wild animals in China.
Actually came from a bat in the movie.
Yes. Yeah. It was gross. I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. It's gross.
Can I say the one thing about this movie for me?
Yes.
They already have a vaccine within a year.
I know. Within like a couple of months, they were like, "Oh, it's vaccine time," and the scientists
like, hey, it's day 165. We've already cracked it.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're past 165 now.
Oh, yeah.
We're way past it.
Like day 200.
We aren't even where they were at 161 days after. You know, we're like so far behind.
But also, in this movie, the like R0 or whatever, the figure of people that you infect was 4 in the movie. And I'm curious as to what it is in actual life, what coronavirus is. I couldn't find it on the internet from any reliable source. But please feel free to Google. But in this movie, it was like 20 million worldwide had died by half a year into it. Yeah. So I think if that was the case, I would hope that we would have a vaccine by now if that many people were dead worldwide.
Well, so here was the thing. Because I said this to Taylor. I was like, here's my one thing. This movie is so much like what we're going through now, yet it completes its whole cycle within a year's time.
Yeah.
And I said, but there was one key difference. CDC and the World Health Organization were allowed to function all the way through, where our president told them to stop working.
Yep.
So is this movie saying, if you hadn't done that, you'd have been here too by now?
Probably.
You know?
Yeah, if we had the funding and resources to actively throw at this disease the way it deserves to be thrown at, I think that we could be through it by now.
Yeah.
And yeah, Taylor, that fucked me up too. So like the whole movie, you know, the scientists are talking about, like, we found out it's the pig and we found out it's a bat. And then at the end, like the end reveal of this movie, I remember when I saw it in theaters, it was very just like, holy shit. But now seeing it again and knowing just how real it is, it really messed me up, you know? Like you see the bat and it's got like a piece of banana in its mouth and it flies over into the pig cage and the banana falls out of its mouth and the pig picks it up and eats it. And that is the point in which it gets infected. And then it goes to like the slaughter market and then you see the chef who buys it and then you see him putting his dirty chef fingers inside the pig mouth and then he just like wipes it on his apron and is like, I'm gonna go shake hands with this American lady.
And then boom, it starts.
And then boom. Yeah.
I mean, that's all it takes.
It was such a poignant reveal because you spend the whole movie like those red letters on the center of the screen. It's like, this is day 2 and she's sick. And you're like, well, where's day 1? And then at the very, very end, they show you, this is day 1. This is how it happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really is just, it leaves you stunned. You're just like, wow, that happened.
You're right. This is what we're going through. Like, I was watching it a lot of the time that the CDC is like doing their press conferences and stuff. Just people sitting in masks back there. A lot like now.
And there's people that aren't wearing masks and they're coughing on each other.
Which
and
is
just
funny to me too. I'd never really heard the term social distancing until
social
this.
Distancing!
And he says it in this movie.
I know. I wrote down my notes. I was like, he said social distancing.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before.
No, I thought that was a term they came up with in 2020, but no, that's apparently been a thing.
Yeah. Like, this is a real, like, take heed of things type movie.
Yeah, I mean, they consulted with CDC on the creation of this movie, so it makes sense that it's so accurate and is mirroring what we're currently going through because we've had, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars of research poured into what could happen if there was a pandemic. And there's been papers written on what could happen. And I mean, society kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
The science part of society saw it coming because it happens every 100 years roughly. You know, the pandemic of 1918 and then 1818. It was just 2 years late, I guess, the pandemic of 2020. But it's something that science had accurately predicted. And so it's not a surprise to me that this is so accurate.
Yeah.
But
Do you
it's
know
still
how many people have died from COVID worldwide?
I don't know the worldwide figure.
I think
that like sounds
2 million.
So much. I know that 210,000 plus now in America.
Worldwide death toll. It's 1.07 million.
That's awful.
So, like, think about it. That's like 1 million less people on this planet within this year alone.
And roughly 20% of those people are in America.
Yeah.
Like, that fucking sucks. That sucks. I hate it.
You know, I've told Taylor before, you know, sometimes I'm like, Thanos may not have been wrong in his whole thing. Like, let's just wipe out some people, but do you think anything's going to become easier on this planet with those people gone?
No. Everything's going to be harder because America and the world at large is going to have this like shroud of grief that we're not allowed to mourn, you know?
I actually was thinking about it, like even in the movie. So in the movie, they passed like 2 million deaths or something, right?
Yeah, within the first like couple of days, they were like, 2 million dead, here we go.
But like, they were just digging huge trenches to bury these people in.
Yeah, they ran out of body bags, and funeral homes stopped accepting bodies.
What are we doing with this million people?
So I know that there was a thing where they had to keep the dead in refrigerated trucks parked outside of hospitals for a time because they just couldn't bury them in time. They didn't have enough like equipment to get rid of the bodies.
Yeah.
Saying it out loud sounds so dystopian and so like a movie, you know, like a bad movie.
But that's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
So this one was a lot harder to watch. Like if Underwater was like eating candy, then this one was like eating a dead bat. It was very difficult.
This one was that pill you need to swallow. Take this for real. Like, apply this to now, you know?
And another thing that really made me think was they had the fucking journalist dude who it messes me up that in 2011 they had this whole plot line of like internet media is real media and print media isn't the giant that you think it is, which now it's so opposite, you know? Like of course internet media is real, like that's where everyone gets their media these days. But so, and he also unironically used the term blogosphere, which wow,
that's such an old term too.
It really is. Even in 2011 I think it was an old term. But his thing is that he is like selling the fake cure, that forsythia, and everyone goes fucking bonkers over it at the pharmacy, and they're doing like bum rushes on the pharmacist counter and stuff. It was very much like real life, and that hydroxychloroquine, how everyone was just like, this is the cure and we're gonna take it even though we're not sick. It was a shocking mirror for that. It just reminded me heavily of like Alex Jones and the way that he leads his followers into believing that frogs are gay because of the water or whatever. So yeah, this one, it was very, it's by no means a bad movie. I think it's a very good movie. It's well executed, it's well done. It made me feel the way that one movie with Mark Ruffalo made me feel.
Oh, your Dark Water?
Dark Water, yes.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, I was just like, that was a great movie, and I hated it. It was awful.
I just was like, man, I don't know if I truly believe this, because even then, I know that vaccines aren't created within a year. Like, I think this is like if things could go the absolute best.
Yeah, like
that's how this movie is.
If we had all the resources that we could to throw at coronavirus, this is how it could go.
But like, the guy that solved it was just some professor guy that didn't pay attention to people, and he just like cracks it over one night, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's like, this is the best case scenario of a really bad contagion.
Yeah.
That we would get a vaccine that fast.
Right.
Because that shit's hard to come up with.
Absolutely. And there's like that rogue scientist injecting herself with it to test it and see if it works.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening.
I mean, what if it didn't work?
Yeah.
Like,
could have created another like mutant version of the disease that also has monkey blood in it now.
This is a movie that says if things went the best route, not, well, what if like this part went good but this part goes bad? When things go good in this, they just kind of like the dominoes all fall in the good section for this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Things go well in almost all sides.
Yeah.
Once they start getting a like containment on it. Like the virus is the only thing that's bad, and it's just spreading fast. But when they start to figure it out, they figure it out, and it's good to go.
And for the most part, it appears that people are obeying quarantine by the looks of it. I mean, you have the rioters outside, and you have the people that are like looting and whatever, robbing people. But Matt Damon and his daughter, who he gives prom to, which I cried. I literally cried. I was like, he gave her a prom, and her husband is vaccinated.
He's like the one person that is gonna follow, because he's had 2 people die.
Yeah.
He's had 2 people very close to him die.
Right. So we're seeing this disease through the lens of somebody that takes it seriously.
Yeah, because so my old job, our like big boss, she had people die from corona. And so when they were pushing people to go back to work, she was like, none of my people are. Like, she was somebody that was like Matt Damon. She was personally affected and really took it serious because she knew what could happen.
Yeah. You know? And I think that's something that a lot of people today aren't seeing, because all we see is people on the news that are like, now we're at 200,000 dead. And that doesn't mean shit to a lot of people, because nobody has the ability. Died. Yeah, nobody they know has died, so it hasn't personally come into their lives and fucked them up. It's not like, you know, Uncle Jim died and now we have to live with that fact, you know?
Yeah.
That would, it's different.
like becoming lax just because you just think it's okay is just not okay. Right. I mean, it is still out there. It's still a thing that can happen. You know,
for sure.
Because like I was actually supposed to go see my parents this weekend, but there's been a little bit of a scare, and I'm not going anywhere now.
Yeah.
Because I can't risk that. Like,
no.
How could I risk knowing that I killed my parents because I decided to take it lax, you know, and go, well, it's fine. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Life's hard these days.
Just like, you know, Matt Damon, he said those 2 people died. And he was like, this is my daughter. That's it. Sorry, boy. Get the fuck out of my yard. You know, he was not having it.
Yeah.
He wasn't having it. But he has his daughter by the end, so good for him. You know?
For him. I wonder if the vaccine that they end up coming up with, like they had that nasal vaccine.
That was weird.
It was really weird. I didn't remember that part of the movie, but
yeah, I know.
It's cool. I mean, that would be nice if we got the vaccine like that, but
isn't that how they do some flu vaccines now? You
I have no idea.
Sniff it like that? I think so.
Huffing vaccines. I wonder, like...
But I think it wasn't as effective as the, like, half alive shot one, so I think we've gone back to that. But I remember a time where we were doing the inhale flu vaccine. I did never get that one.
Yeah, I've never gotten an inhaled vaccine before.
No, that's weird.
Which, so this will kind of tie us into our next topic. Needles, for me, like any kind of needle in a movie, it's like a no-go. Like I can't watch needles in movies. I have to like cover my eyes or leave or stop watching it. That's one of those things for me that it's nova.
I wonder how you're gonna watch Reanimator then, since that's the premise of the movie.
I know, that's like I want to watch it, but at the same time you told me that it's full of injections and body horror.
Oh yeah.
It's melee shots. Yeah. I can't do needles. It's a deep phobia of mine. It's bad.
As long as I don't look, I don't care what you do.
Even like thinking about it for me makes me want to throw up. Like I'm feeling nauseous.
Like I think I had to do I don't remember what I had to do this for, but I had to like go to the doctor and get like blood drawn and do like a pee test for like I think it was like a drug test to get a job or something.
Yeah.
It was like a whole like testing thing. Like it wasn't for like a physical or whatever. But yeah, like I remember I like sat in the chair, so I do this with my arm, and she goes, "Okay, here I go." So I just go like this, and she goes, "You don't want to look?" And I was like, "No."
Who wants to look?
I was like, "You do your thing, and I won't complain because I don't know." Like I just looked the other way, and she did everything, and like I felt like a pinch, but that could be whatever because I can't see it, right? And she does her thing, gets done. I was like, all right, cool, we're good.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
See, Taylor's got to look, she said. I got to look.
To look?
See, my brother was always like that, too. He was getting something done, and so the nurse put up, like, the little sheet thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so he's doing like this, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, can you move that? I want to watch. And she's like, you want to see me give you stitches, like, in your leg? And he's like, yeah. And she goes, okay. So she moved it, and he's just, like, watching, enjoying the whole show.
I've never had to do, like, stitches or broken bone set or anything like that. I don't know how I would feel about it.
Yeah.
Maybe different than a needle, because even, like, dental work, when they have to give you the shots for that, I don't care. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I never look at those either, though. I just like open my mouth, close my eyes, I'll do whatever they need to do.
At least they normally now put like the little numbing stuff on the Q-tip and they set it in your mouth so it already kind of numbs that area.
It's like shit. Yeah. And it just like grabs your cheek and shakes the fucking shit out of it for whatever reason while they're doing it.
It's probably to like distract you. You're like, why are you shaking my cheek? I already gave you like 10 shots. Oh, cool.
Exactly. Like, oh, thanks. Yeah. Go ahead and shake away. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you've actually talked about that on the show before, where like you hate when a movie just surprise shots you.
Yes,
and it's just like
that makes me so mad. Where it's just like jump cut to someone doing heroin, and I'm like, oh,
like jump cut, wow.
Yeah, there's no reason for a movie to do that. Like, you don't need to show me the needle going in. Good job, a props guy, for making that needle that looks like it's going into the skin. But holy shit, I did not need to see it. It ruined my whole day.
So, yeah, Evil Dead, the new remake one. Do you like that one? Do you remember it very well? Because if you don't, I know why.
I don't remember it. Why?
It's because of one scene, and now you've probably never watched it again.
Probably.
The guy goes in and finds his girlfriend in the shower, and she's got like a piece of glass, and she's cutting her cheek off.
Ugh.
And she turns to him with a syringe and starts just like beating him with it.
Nah.
But then it gets worse.
Well, how did it get worse?
Because he like knocks her off, and it broke off when she was stabbing him.
No.
Kelsey? And he has to pull it out from under here.
No.
Oh, but they straight up show it though. It's so bad. Yeah.
Nobody likes needles in the eye, Taylor. Any close-up like eyeball shots always like make me cringe.
I bet you never played Dead Space, huh?
No.
Yeah, so part 2 of Dead Space has a straight like needle in the eye scene. It's like right at the end of the game.
Ugh.
And it's what that game, when people talk about it, that's the part they're talking about. Because it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Every time I think about eye stuff in horror movies, I think about this one movie that I can't recall the name of, but it's like this woman, she's like looking up at a door like through the peephole.
Uh-huh.
And so it fucking takes a drill and it just like zzz, right in there.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's this movie called I See You with
Yes,
Sylvester
that's
Stallone.
That's it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because to this day, I don't like looking through peepholes.
Me either. I look from like
all the time.
far away.
Yeah, for real. I always like. I can see you back here.
Announce.
We were watching that movie of Taylor's last night, the Don't Be Afraid in the Dark. And the dad was looking through a keyhole through the door, and the little tooth fairy things had like a coat hanger that they made straight, and they were trying to stab him, but they missed and hit him like in the cheek.
Good.
Well, earlier in the film, he was trying to listen to something, so his ear hole's right up against the keyhole, and they missed him there too. Yeah, it was real bad.
Richard had LASIK surgery recently, but it was the LASIK where like they cut open your eye and then lift up the flap, and then they put like a little lens inside, and they close your flap.
That freaks me out.
Me too. And he said that they numbed him up real good for the first one, and he was totally doped out and doesn't remember it at all. But then they wake you up and they're like, how's that first eye? And then they put you back under for the second eye, but they didn't like get him fully under for that one. So he like still remembers it. But
I see a kitty.
Hi Kitty, it's Dee Dee. Hi
like,
Ma.
what the hell?
Hey, what's my bush? Welcome to the show, baby. Sweet girl.
What kind of eye surgery, Ismail? Like, was it like LASIK or like a cataracts thing? That's like way different stuff. But wow, you got a little gymnast there.
Yeah, I do. Hello, baby. It's so sweet.
I really wanted to get LASIK. Okay. But I watched Tobascus do it. He filmed his for his YouTube channel, and I watched him get his done. And I was like, this doesn't look too bad. They didn't do the lens in the eye. I don't want you to leave a foreign body behind, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no. You're just going to fix it and go from there. That's it.
Big no thanks.
Like, when I got braces, a lot of the time, they do, like, the retainers that they just, like, put in and leave behind. I was like, you're not doing that. It's like, I will have nothing left when I'm done with you.
Don't leave stuff in my mouth. My boss had to have a crown. Censor this, thank you. My boss had to have a crown put in, and they do this thing where they like pack cord inside your tooth for whatever reason, and they like left cord in her tooth, so she had this like purple string coming out of it, and she had to go back and like get it fixed.
Gross.
I know. I don't like the concept of foreign objects in my body.
Yeah, like no. I want LASIK, but it will be just like the laser where they burn and shape it to where it needs to be. I would much rather do that.
Fine.
Yeah. Laser burn my eye away, but don't like leave something there, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This is not a paid stream. Get away. Thank you. Hermes.
And then I just have this one just asleep over here.
So chill.
There it is. So is it pretty much just needles? Is that like your one thing?
That's the one thing that like super fucks me up that I won't watch a movie for. I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like in movies. Have you ever seen the website called doesthedogdie.com?
Yes, I have.
I love that website because it used to be just like it will tell you if the dog dies in the movie or not. And now they've expanded it to where they have listed out like so many different scenes. So it has if a dog dies, if there's a dead animal at all, if there's spiders, snakes, bugs, if a dragon dies, if there's torture, if teeth are damaged, if there's eye mutilation, if someone's head gets squished, if someone is shaved, if somebody has a seizure, if there's clowns, ghosts, jump scares, farting. Like
farting?
Literally everything listed on this website.
Scared of a fart.
Farts! It's like the ghost of the butt.
Oh.
The ghost of my lungs. Yeah, so this website it's a blessing for people that have phobias or fears or are nervous.
In the chat for everybody.
Yeah, I'll put that in there for everybody. So this is all the different categories that they have. There's so many of it.
Jeez.
And it even like it has, so like if there's somebody who self-harms, it says here is a list of things you could do instead of self-harming, and here's a number that you can call if you're feeling like you need to. And then there's a category like if somebody dies by suicide, then they have the phone number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Oh man, something we didn't talk about for
heads get squashed. I love that.
Yeah, heads get squashed.
Squashed. Okay.
Something we didn't talk about for underwater is the first person that dies is the black guy.
Yep.
And there is a category in here that says the black guy dies first.
I guess usually a thing too.
Yeah. Which I can't believe that's still a trope.
Yeah. Like
there's a lot of movies on here, like Jurassic Park, The Shining, Avengers: Infinity War. There's Forrest Gump. Like underwater, here it is.
I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing. That's kind of my problem with media, and that's kind of why I don't like new music. There's a formula, and everything just follows the formula, and that's it.
Like, what do you mean? So
music has a formula. It's
like chorus, bridge, chorus, kind of a formula, or
kind of. And like I said, I don't like ones where it's just like, oh, we're just gonna like perfect the chorus only, and just replay that 20 times with like half a verse here.
Yeah.
And a lot of songs now go a full verse, chorus, half verse, chorus, 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 chorus. But almost every new song follows that formula.
Yeah.
And I don't like that formula. Like, music doesn't really seem to branch out and be different in some way. And movies, I think they have a formula, and they're not changing it.
Jason Derulo.
Like, yeah, let's get more into the Spider-Verse, where your female lead, per se, isn't trying to get with the male lead of the movie. They just be okay by the end, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we don't need to have girls talking only about men when they're talking to each other. We don't need the black guy to die first. Like,
yeah, there's
mix
a lot of
up the formula.
Progressive options that you can take that are not those options, and yet movies, TV, and music, I guess, tend to just follow that vanilla pathway.
So, I mean, okay, I know that like I keep dropping hints here and there all the time, and you keep picking them up and pointing them out, but I guess I've told you that I've been like thinking about a screenplay and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that one of my like points, one of my boxes that had to be ticked was that because it would be a female lead. The female lead will never have a love interest, period.
Good job. Good.
This woman is solely going to be alone. And
That's what we
she's
need
fine
movies.
with that. Like, she's totally fine with that. That was
We need
one of my
movies
pillars.
that do that and present that option to young women, because a lot of women go into a movie and it's about like the girl trying to get the guy. Like, Disney does this over and over and over. They're getting better at it in the more recent years, but there's still like there's still so many that are just, their goal is to get with the prince.
Have you ever watched Moana yet?
No.
You need to watch Moana.
Okay.
Because it's a girl lead, and she is like the only person that can save the world. Like, she's the only one that can fix the problem at hand.
Okay.
Right? And she has to enlist help from a guy, but it's by no means someone that she can love, because he's like an old ancient god. Like, it's not like she's gonna be with him, and she's like 14 or something, right? But there's a scene in that movie that every time it for real sends just goosebumps and shivers down my whole body.
Yeah.
And because she starts to doubt herself, and there's a moment when she realizes, I'm the only one that can fix it, and I'm going to, and she has that moment of, I'm gonna be in charge of this.
Yeah.
And it literally sends shivers down my whole spine.
That's what women need.
It's
need role models like that.
Best. You would love that movie. You need to watch that one.
Yeah, that one's on Disney Plus, I'm sure.
Yes, you have Disney Plus. Please watch it.
Yeah.
I think by the end you would be like, yeah, that's the kind of shit that we need. That's a good... I didn't think I'd like that movie as much as I do, and it's one of my all-time favorites, I think.
And it has that Shiny Crab song. I love that song.
It's got the Shiny Crab song.
You sent that to me and you're like, this is David Bowie if he was a crab.
And it is! Yeah, the guy who did the song was like, David Bowie had just died, and I wanted to tribute something to him, so I modeled my character after him for the movie.
Yeah, and I like that a lot.
And it was great. It's just a very good movie. So, phobias in movies. Now, are we just going to talk phobias? Like the things that stick with you, or the things that... Because my phobias in movies are not the movies that scare me the most.
Really?
Yeah.
So I know that water is a big thing for you. We've talked about that several times.
Everybody
and yet one
knows.
of your favorite movies is Jaws.
Yeah. And I
think that the water really got to me in this movie, in Underwater, because there was so much of it, and they were down so deep, and so everything was so vast, and yet so claustrophobic because they're in those little crazy suits.
I kind of like watched a movie about deep water one time, and it actually, it kind of made me scared of space, because it's that vastness. It's just so big, you know?
Yes, it's the same fear.
The same premise, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same feeling.
Yeah, I'd never been scared of space before, and then I watched a movie, and it was like, it's kind of just like space, but below us.
Pretty much,
and it kind of freaked me out about space a bit. But I'm still not like scared of space, though.
I am not scared of space, but I am scared of movies that portray space, like Gravity and fucking Ad Astra, like the vastness of space, just all the things that can happen up there.
Yeah,
like gunfights on the moon and chimpanzees ripping your face off.
So I actually was thinking about this last night, getting ready for today.
Yeah,
there are just places we aren't meant to go.
Yeah, why are humans trying to go into the Mariana Trench or into space? Like, we don't belong there.
Like, the reason that... Because, like, okay, I'm scared of things in the water a lot because they can, like, swim up behind me, right?
Yeah.
But a jaguar could sneak up behind me and jump at my back, too, right? But
That's true.
But I, like, belong on the land. So it's like, it's okay.
Or an apex predator.
Yeah, you don't... Not really. I mean, if you just put me and another creature together, I'm probably gonna die.
Depending on the creature, like there's so many things that humans have conquered in this world, but still so many things that we haven't, I guess.
With tools and stuff. But if you put like creature for creature side by side, we are definitely not the top.
Yeah, mano a mano, like man versus tiger, you're gonna lose.
Anyway, like, we are only here because we're smart.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing that makes us at all better.
It's true.
It's because we can think of how to hurt you better than you can hurt us, you know?
Right.
Ismail says, everything scares me. But talking about space and going back to AI, did y'all see the video I sent y'all the other day? I did, and I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched it yet either.
Oh, no, wait, I did. The one about David and from, like, Prometheus and all that kind of shit.
Oh, no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I did. I did watch that. Yeah, like, that... I hate him in those movies. Evil fucking robot thing. But anyway, so I have a phobia of water. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just truly, like, that's a deep down core fear. But the movies that scare me, that I'm, like, scared of after I watch them, usually ghost movies.
Yes, I can't watch. So this was another thing that, to tie it back to underwater, like, I was afraid to watch underwater alone because Richard wouldn't watch it with me because he's got, like, fear of deep water. Yeah. So he stays away from water movies.
Yeah.
So underwater, I was like, if there's a creature in this, I'll be scared of it. But I know that I can go to sleep at night because I'm not underwater with it, and it lives underwater. Yeah. Whereas ghosts, demons, other stuff like that.
There it is.
I'm scared of them, and they're going to stand in the corner of my room at night.
And you already have some in your home, so you don't need to invite that shit in, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Jaws is the movie that has affected me the most long term.
Yeah.
But the scariest movies that exist to me, The Exorcist is one. That Ouija movie that I keep telling you to watch, the prequel one.
Yeah. I'm never going to watch it.
It's a scary fucking movie. I don't like it.
Too scary.
And really, Paranormal Activity 2.
Yes. Even Paranormal Activity 1, like, still fucks me up.
Paranormal 1, I just really like. But in 2, when they drag her from the top floor all the way to the basement.
Oh, that's the scene I was thinking of. Is that in 2?
That's in 2.
That's literally the one that, like, comes to mind every time I think of Paranormal Activity. It's that and the cabinets.
Yep. And that's in 2 as well.
I wonder if there's a section on Does the Dog Die about ghosts. Because, God, there's so many ghosts in the world.
Like, that's
Santa is spoiled. Oh my God, they have a category for Santa being spoiled. The ending is sad. Every movie, the ending is sad. Sorry to break it to you. Oh my God, Doki Doki Literature Club is on here for a sad ending. It's not that sad.
I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out next week.
Like, I think I've even told this because I was telling Taylor. So, she said, I'm probably scared of water because in a past life, I probably drowned or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that kind of shit where, like, you're scared of something in this life because it affected you bad in one before?
Yeah, but, like, I can trace back the specific incident to why I'm afraid of needles in this life.
Okay.
So, but as far as, like, being afraid of ghosts and demons, I think that is just a natural human fear of the supernatural.
Yeah, I think I just learned that one from all these movies.
Yeah.
Actually, Drag Me to Hell really fucks me up.
That movie.
I don't mess with gypsies. I don't say Lamia too much.
In that movie,
yeah.
Isn't there?
That movie's got a whole suite of stuff.
It does.
That's got vomit in the face. All kinds of stuff.
That scene will forever be in my memory.
But, so Taylor was like, did something happen to you with water? And I was like, I mean, I did almost drown in this life, but I was scared of water before then.
Really?
So, when I was born, 1989, a movie came out called The Little Mermaid. So, I mean, it's been a big deal my entire life, right?
Yeah.
I used to watch it all the time, and my mom has said that every time I get to the end, when Ursula gets big and turns into like a big kraken monster thing and the water's all real scary, she said that I always had to fast forward through that part. And then I'd watch it from there on. So, like, 1 year old forward, from Little Mermaid on, I've always hated water.
So maybe you were like a pirate in a previous life and the Kraken got you.
Maybe. I even said that. It was like, yeah, the Kraken ate me one time and fucked me up. That was back in my ancient Greece life.
Yeah.
You know? Hercules was like, hey, go dive in that pool, and I did, and then he laughed because I got eaten by the Kraken.
Hercules is always so mean.
I know. But so, like...
I'm trying to think of other movies that I won't watch because of specific phobias.
But
like,
see, I'll watch them all, though. There's no movie that I will just flat out not watch because I'm scared to watch it. I'll watch it.
I once fell asleep sitting at the steps on a pool when I was little, and I woke up staring down and I saw nothing but legs. I didn't freak out or drown, which was odd. Were you in the water, Ismail?
Like, I'm picturing like he was asleep like this and then woke up floating down and was like, hey, my legs. My legs!
Woke up in Dead Man's Float.
God. Could you imagine?
Oh god, saying Dead Man's Float just like brought back the seaweed monster.
Oh yeah, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I hate that guy. Pull up a picture of him. I just want to see him. I hate him.
Okay.
Oh, he's the worst. Ugh.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Seaweed.
I won't swim in a pool alone to this day because of that. Like we grew up. I had a pool in my parents' house, and I would never ever swim alone. I had plenty of opportunity to swim alone, but no, I refuse.
Dude, he is like gross.
To this day, like it holds up. It's so bad and so scary, and I don't know why they put it in a children's show.
I'm trying to find. That's about the biggest one. Here you go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't want you to be freaked out though.
I'm gonna be freaked out. Just go ahead and do it.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Put it away.
He's pretty cool looking.
I hate him so much.
So what was his deal?
I don't even remember. There was like, if you swam alone in the pool, he would come get you. And he's invisible underwater. And then when he comes out, Ismail, don't ever watch this show. Are You Afraid of the Dark? There's an episode where I think it's called Dead Man's Float.
Nickelodeon show too.
Yes, for children. And I watched it as a child. And the seaweed monster, he's like invisible when he's underwater. And then when he comes out of the water, he is visible and it's terrible. And he keeps like grabbing children and dragging them down and killing them.
Let's see. Is this the one? It doesn't show a picture, but I think it could be this, The Tale of the Dead Man's Float.
Yeah, Dead Man's Float, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why that phrase brought it back for me. I was like, oh.
October 7th, 1995 is when that aired.
I watched that as a 5-year-old, and that is the year my parents got a pool.
Okay, so if we want to talk that, so one of the first things that I was ever really scared of from when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
My brother goes, hey, you want to, like, watch a movie? And I go, ugh, God. I'm going to have to bloop that in a second.
What are you blooping? Ooh.
Watched that when I was 5. He's pulling a kid down the sewer, eating that fucker.
That's not a good thing to show a child.
Okay, hang on. Yep, we gotta work a little magic here.
Get your bubble out.
Okay.
All right, thank you for keeping us safe.
Yeah.
I bring Marion Cotillard back. We need her.
Yeah. Whew.
Whew.
Actually, here. We'll go. Here you go. That'll make you feel better.
Oh yeah.
Give you a little Ana de Armas. Very nice.
Look at those teeth. I just love her teeth.
Cannot wait to see her in James Bond, which will never come out.
I know. Delayed again.
Man.
I was reading an article regarding Contagion because I wanted to have like talking points, and it was dated March, and they were talking about the James Bond movie. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh my god, this movie has been like trying to come out since all of 2020.
It was supposed to come out in April of 2020.
God.
I had to go work from home like 2 weeks before the movie was coming out.
why don't they just release it? Like, just do it. Not in theaters. Do it like on streaming.
Yeah, I just want it like I did Trolls. I'll pay $20 to rent it for a few days. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll watch it that way. It's fine. I don't care. I just want to see it. It's the last one with him. And Ana de Armas, so pretty.
Ana de Armas. Look at her hair. I love her hair. I want to watch Antlers. What's Antlers?
I know. Here I go. Antlers, 2020 film. A mysterious creature escapes from its confines to wreak bloody havoc in a small Oregon town.
Hell yeah. Does it have antlers?
I would assume so. Look at this poster. Oh,
that's a cool poster.
And it's an A. That's neat.
Ooh, I like that.
Is it out?
Antlers.
Antlers film. Oh, well, that poster's really small, but
it's from Fox Searchlight.
Look at that. Just surrounded by these antlers.
Ooh, I like that.
That's spoopy.
Spoopy.
Let me see. Did it come out?
It was due to release April 17th, 2020. Oh, it's by Guillermo del Toro. Are they gonna fuck the antler monster? It's got Kerry Russell in it, and Jesse Plemons, Fat Damon.
God. So now it's supposed to come out February 2021.
They just keep pushing these movies back, and they could release them via stream, and the world would be so much better for it. Yeah. I would be happier if I had more new movies to watch.
I've been watching I mean, there's plenty of old stuff to watch. You know?
All right, sorry, Ismail. Did you just find out it was pushed back via this stream? Sorry to ruin your day.
Like, I mean, there's plenty of old stuff. So I'm actually going to start a thing with Taylor. We're going to go through alphabetically every movie that we have.
Dear God.
If we haven't seen it, got to watch it.
That's a lot. That's going to be a lot of movies.
Yeah, because I have a lot of movies that I haven't seen. So,
which is mind-boggling to me because I buy a movie only if I've watched it like 7 times and I need to have it in my collection.
No, I will go like, I've heard things about this one. Yoink. Then I'll just buy it.
Yoink.
So we were trying to figure out how it should work. Should it be one that we both haven't seen? Or one that like one of us hasn't seen and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because like we started with the numbers, and both of the movies I had in the number category she hadn't seen.
Weird.
So Sixth Day. But Taylor's not a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, so
yeah,
she hadn't seen much of his. But that movie is to date why I have to check my left eye in the mirror, see if I'm a clone.
Just to be sure.
You never know. And then 12 Angry Men.
I love 12 Angry Men so much.
So I was trying to think what it would be. So I worked it out to be, I thought somebody was climbing through your window to murder you.
I thought so too. What was that? It was my cat jumping down.
It was a cat. I like saw somebody like jumping in to murder you.
Our first live show, Kelsey dies on stream. Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, that was scary. So, it is 4:00 and I need to give my cat some eye drops. Do you want to pause the show for a moment?
Yeah, we can do something. Well, I'll show you guys our other new thing. Why don't you guys go get another drink, get a beverage, get a little snack. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Whoa.
And we're back.
So
that's the kitty I was giving eye drops to. No, that one.
Yeah.
That kitty. Right there.
Well,
he's mad
gone.
now. Oh, look at him.
I found that picture for you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, she's so great.
I love her so much. Did our chat disappear?
No, when you leave the thing.
Oh. There we go. Welcome back. Hope you all got a good beverage.
So, yeah, like I was saying, water stuff is the ones I don't like.
Yeah.
But the ghost stuff is what I'm actually scared of, I think, the most when it comes to those things. Other than that,
the ghost stuff,
nothing really gets me in a movie. I'll watch any of it.
Yeah. I don't like in movies when they portray a panic attack because it kind of makes me feel like sympathetic panic attack happening, you know?
Uh-huh.
Which I guess you've never experienced, but like
I've had one. I've had one.
Really?
I know that I've had one. Because I remember having it and I was like, what is the deal with this?
Why do I feel like I'm dying?
Taylor was like, pretty sure that's a panic attack.
Yeah.
Or something. I've had like one.
It's not a fun time. I can tell you that much. But yeah, it's tough to watch in cinema to see somebody go through it.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder too, like as actors, how they work themselves up for that kind of stuff, because you've seen like the behind the scenes stuff in The Shining where Jack Nicholson during that scene where he has to like bust the axe through the door, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like running in place and like holding the axe and being like, axe, mad, like trying to psych himself up for
I can't remember his name now. Who's the guy that plays Rick in The Walking Dead?
That's Rick from The Walking Dead.
There you go. So
Andrew Lincoln?
Yes.
Yes.
There's a scene. It's like a know-nothing scene for this one part, and I remember watching it behind the scenes, and they were like, he's like too hardcore. They were like, you know, he was just supposed to be hiding under this bed.
Yeah.
And that's it. But he was like running around and like beating himself up and doing all this stuff, and we were like, why? And he goes, it's Georgia, it's the summer, there's no AC in this home, it's gonna be stifling. If I'm hiding under this bed, I'm gonna be sweating it up.
He's like, such a good actor.
I'm just working myself up so that I am in a hot room like this, because it was cold when they were filming.
Yeah.
But it was summer in the show, so he made it to where he was like in that feeling at the time. You know,
I appreciate actors who like respect their own craft enough to want to put themselves through that bullshit. Because he didn't have to do all that, but he did.
Oh, no.
And we love him for it.
Like, that's one of the things that gets me. Well, I think Ryan Reynolds actually developed claustrophobia from filming that movie Buried, where he's like buried underground for like the whole movie.
Oh my god!
Like he like developed a fear because of it.
Buried. I don't know. I completely misspelled buried. B-road.
I've always wanted to watch it. Like the whole movie takes place inside a so like.
Oh my god!
Think Kill Bill when she's trying to like punch her way out. You know.
Yeah.
But the whole movie takes place in that space. Come here, kitty cat. Oh my god.
It's climbing my leg. Hi, buddy.
Oh,
okay.
Goodness. Yeah, like I think he like got a fear from it.
That sounds about right. Like, is it based on a true story? So it's about Iraq-based American civilian truck driver Paul Conroy, who, after being attacked, finds himself buried alive in a wooden coffin with only a lighter, a flask, a flashlight, a knife, glow sticks, pen, pencil, and a mobile phone.
Yeah.
I would just call somebody and be like, hey, I'm trapped.
He does. But, like, all the stuff happens. So, I'm gonna mute me real quick, and I'm gonna tell you what happens.
Okay. Oh, no! Okay,
I've read about it before, but I still want to watch it because it sounds like that type of movie that would make you feel it, because it takes place in the confines of that house.
And probably like in real time.
Oh yeah.
Hey buddy.
Like, I think that's one of the things I don't know that I could do well with. So like in Underwater, she was crawling through the rubble and it was like real tight on him. I was like, what if your actor doesn't like it?
Yeah, too bad. That part messed me up.
They have to squeeze through it because, like, you're stronger in this part, so you do it, you know?
Yeah.
The shark movie Deep Blue Sea.
Uh-huh.
There's a scene where, like, they're climbing up this shaft and the, like, water's filling up, and this guy's on a ladder, and the shark grabs one of the girls from underneath, and it, like, shoots up in the air, and he's trying to grab her hand, but she slides back down.
Oh my god.
She's sitting with this fake shark wrapped around her bottom torso. And they filmed that scene like 20 times just to get it to shoot up and see them try to grab the hands like the right way.
Uh-huh.
Well, first of all, I don't like sharks to begin with, and you're going to make me sit in one and just keep doing it? Like, I don't know how a person could be okay with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad time.
I'll sit in a fake shark for 5 hours today.
I spend a lot of time, like, when I'm watching movies or TV, just thinking about the actors and what they had to go through during filming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a fascinating thing. Like, I would watch a documentary about the making of every movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just fascinating what actors have to do and what directors have to do so often, and just the set designers. It's a whole thing.
And then you get those people that just push things too far to get the best out of it.
Like Stanley Kubrick.
Or your Alfred Hitchcocks.
Yes, yeah.
Like, no, I want to see real fear, so I'm gonna have real birds attack you right now, you know?
You ever seen The Birds?
I actually have never seen The Birds.
I watched that as a kid, and I am afraid of birds. I don't know if I was afraid of birds when I watched it, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Birds really messed me up. Like, I had a full-blown panic attack one time because I went to Hobby Lobby, and when I got there, a flock of crows descended upon my vehicle and just, like, sat on it. And they all just, like, sat there staring.
Waiting
like,
for you.
Staring in the window at me. And I was like, I can't. I didn't want to drive away because there were, like, birds under the car, and I didn't want to crush them.
Yeah.
You just had to sit there and, like, have a staring contest with roughly 55 birds.
God. I actually didn't notice my stutter until I watched It, and the main kid stutters. And I always believed that movie gave me a stutter because it scared me so bad.
Oh.
Like, I can't ever remember being that stuttery until I was like 5 years old and watching Bill Denbrough go through all that shit.
Yeah.
That's when I really, like, realized I had one, or just noticed. Maybe I always did and didn't know what it was.
Maybe.
Until then, I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
But, yeah.
I wonder how often that happens, like a movie brings to light a condition that somebody has, you know?
Probably all the time.
Probably.
You know, I was actually thinking about this, because I just watched Star Trek the other day. The newer one with Chris Pine and stuff.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth wasn't very famous then. Like, he was not Thor yet, I don't think. And he does not talk the way Chris Hemsworth talks in that movie.
Really?
And I was thinking, did his accent for Thor become so ingrained with his, like, persona that, like, he can't ever talk his normal way? Because I don't think that's how he really talks.
It's like the way he talks now.
Yeah, I think that's, like, something he just has to hang on to because that's what people associate with him now.
Oh.
Like, can you imagine being famous for something that you just did in a movie once and now you have to keep it up?
There's some... Okay, so, like, Hugh Laurie, who plays House, you know, when he was playing House, and even when he auditioned for House, he put on that American accent.
Yeah.
And even in all of his interviews, he kept the American accent because he didn't want people to be like, that's a Brit.
Yeah.
And the first time I heard him speak in his actual accent, I was like, wow, that's a convincing British accent.
Yeah, that's what I thought about Andrew Lincoln as Rick from The Walking Dead.
Yes, yeah. There's a scene in The Walking Dead in one of the episodes where a major character dies that I won't spoil on this live stream.
Okay.
But they're, like, listening to the radio, and it's Andrew Lincoln's actual voice on the radio, so it's funny. Him as a British man, and I was like, who is that buttery voice? And then I looked it up later, and I was like, that's actually Andrew Lincoln. Huh.
But you don't know that.
It's funny how like well British people can do a Southern accent.
I know.
Specifically.
Because Knives Out, you got James Bond going all Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know?
Yeah.
Actually, one of the ones that got me, so I do still love the show Hercules, The Legendary Journeys with Kevin Sorbo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the guy that plays his sidekick, Aeolus, is from New Zealand.
Oh, really?
But his American accent is so on point. Like, I never, ever pictured that he could not speak that way. And one day, I saw Aeolus speaking normally, and it, like, shattered the whole image of that character for me.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, he's like a Kiwi, straight up.
That's exactly why House did his American accent while he was in interviews and stuff, because it like takes your whole perspective, and you're just like, he's not American.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, very American-centric way of thinking about things, but it's just the way that we're wired, I guess. The world revolves around us, right?
Isn't Tom Holland English? And he does a Brooklyn accent for Spider-Man now?
Uh-huh.
But he never talks in interviews very British, though.
And same with Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Brit. And we started watching the movie on Netflix, The Devil All the Time.
Okay.
We haven't finished yet. We had to pause it because we had like errands to do.
Yeah.
But everyone in that movie, they speak so Southern and they're all so British.
Oh my god.
So
that's
yeah, I think it's just an accent that Brits are often called upon to do. And I kind of wonder just what it's like in acting school to be like, these are all the different American accents that you're going to have to play for stupid Americans.
I know, right? But I can't do any of theirs, so...
Yeah, no, you can't.
Nope.
They'll go straight Arnold.
Nope, I can only do him. I watched his movies too much as a kid.
Yeah.
Didn't intake any British stuff, so I just have... Watch out, the zombie!
And then you also have Shrek that somehow comes out.
I know. I used to watch that movie a lot, too. But, like, so, name me one movie that you know you won't watch just because of something that you don't like in it.
I'm trying to think of some. You know what? 127 Hours. I won't watch that because the whole circumstance freaks me out.
It's
like
so
somebody,
good, though.
I know, just somebody like trapped in a situation where it's just them alone with their thoughts, and they have to come to grips with the fact that yes, you're going to have to cut off this piece of you. Like that episode of Love, Death, and Robots where she's in space and has to like take off her arm. I could handle that one because it was like 7 minutes long, but to draw it out into an entire movie, I don't know if I can do that. That's so much.
It's really good.
Like working yourself up to it.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of a movie that I just am like, no, I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to see what's in it.
Yeah.
Because I go to the theater for every shark movie.
Which is bizarre to me.
Like, I saw the Meg in the D-Box with, like, the moving seat.
What?
Yeah, I thought it would, like, amplify the movie.
Oh my god.
I guess, but it didn't move for any of the shark stuff. It only moved for, like, panning shots.
It's weird.
So, like, it's like when, like, the camera would pan, you would just, like, lean this way. Like, you just kind of, like, flew with the camera. And then, like, the shark would show up, and the seat would be perfectly still. So I was like, well, all right,
okay.
Good.
That's dumb.
But I also had the vibration turned, like, all the way down. Because I was like, if it is going to happen, I'm not letting him hit me in the back. Like, it's going to freak me out.
Yeah.
So, like, I see all those. I saw Shark Night 3D in 3D. That movie freaks me out, too, though. This weird dog back there freaking out.
Yeah, itching away.
Like, I can't... I mean, it's been stated, you know, I like to look for movies that will, like, push my buttons a little bit.
Yeah, make you uncomfortable.
And I find a bunch, and I watch them. Like, there's still one that I really want to watch.
Which one?
A Serbian film.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's just horrible and gross.
That's another category of movie that I don't want to put myself through. Like, it almost gets too close to like the torture porn for me.
Okay.
Like Hostel or Saw, you know?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, and I told you that I'd save it till the end because Ismail had said that he didn't like seeing the drowning stuff.
Yeah.
And Lev had said it's just like a little too real, like a little too scary. One of the movies that fucked me up the most was The Strangers.
Oh, that one's too real.
Just real. It's just real. There's nothing like too extravagant and exciting about it. It was really toned down and just real. That movie,
and it's based on a real story, isn't it? Strangers.
Kind of.
It's like a sensationalized true story.
So the guy said that when he directed it, but it's really based off of Marilyn Manson. And one time when somebody knocked on his door when he was a kid and he didn't know who it was, so he just kind of like married these two creepy ideas and said, "Yeah, it's based on a true story."
Okay.
But no, it's not like there was a family that it's based off of that is the inspiration for that.
Okay.
But like he got inspired by the Manson family because they would do that. They'd sneak into people's homes and just
the Manson family.
Yeah.
I think you said Marilyn Manson earlier.
Did I?
I think so.
Well, Charles.
Which is why I was like, what?
Good old Charlie. Not Marilyn.
Okay. That makes a little more sense.
They would sneak into people's homes and just move things around. They wouldn't hurt the people. They would just move things.
Yeah.
Just to, like, freak people out.
Well, that'll do it.
Gross?
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a fun prank to play on your friends, but on strangers, no, like, it's a little bit
you know
too
what
real.
Kind of movie I'd really like to see?
Tell me.
Based off of real shit. You know how there would be people that you'd hear about on the news that would, like, sneak into people's homes at night and just watch them sleep?
Yeah.
I'd like to see a movie about that.
Oh, no.
Like, I would just like to have a movie that really just fucked me up, made me lock every door 50 times.
Oh, dude.
Just to know.
That's just how it feels to be a woman in the world.
I watched a video on YouTube the other day of a guy that moved into this apartment and some of his food kept going missing every day.
Ugh.
And there was a lady, a homeless lady that lived in the vents of this apartment complex.
Oh my god.
And she would come out of the vents and eat his food.
I've had a recurring dream where, like, I find a secret basement to my home.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a person living in it who's been living in it and just like steals all my stuff. I keep having that dream and it really messes with me. I don't know where it came from, but it's like in my head.
It's because you watched Parasite.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, those kinds of movies get me. There's a movie called Vacancy with Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale. I'm gonna look this up.
And they're having like a big marital fight. Like, they are about to like divorce and stuff, and they pull into this hotel. There's one room left. They go in, and there's tapes in the room, so they watch them, and it's people in their hotel room being murdered.
Ooh.
So the people run out the rooms and make snuff films of them killing people that check into their rooms.
Odd.
And it's them trying to live through the night.
This doesn't even look like Kate Beckinsale. She looks so different.
That movie kind of got me a little bit too.
Yeah, that is messed up. Anything that is like real enough that could happen to me.
Yeah.
I like those movies, but also they scare me a lot.
Like Hostel is one like that for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you go to other countries, man.
Well, stay in reputable hostels.
I guess, yeah. No secondary locations. That's the big deal.
No secondary locations. No. That's what you have to tell them.
Yeah. Nope, I'm going here, and that's it. The end.
Yeah. Man, there's a whole category of movies like that, isn't there? Just like stuff where this could happen to you.
Yeah. Like, The Purge kind of hits that for me.
I've never seen any of the Purge movies.
Oh, man, we love the Purge movies.
Really?
So, here's what got me. It's based on a big what if. It's a really big what if. What if the government did allow us to get away with any crime for one evening?
Yeah.
Like, what if that were the world, right? It's not a too far-fetched one to think of. But here's the thing. They make it so real in the sequels following up. So in the first one, you see the purge happen. You see the nightly thing. In part 2, they go over how there's people from other countries where that's not okay. They go on vacation to the U.S. for that night so they can do whatever they want.
I feel like, okay, if that was a thing where you make it legal, like in real life,
yeah,
you'd have to have a U.S. passport and like prove that you're a citizen or something.
Like, I don't know how, but like, think about that. Like, if you knew you could go to another country one day of the year and commit murder and fly back home and be okay, there's people that would do that. And that really shook me. That shook me. Because I was like, that's a real thought. That could really happen.
The things that they don't show in The Purge are people doing just like petty crimes, you know? Just like, I'm going to take a candy bar today.
I mean, they show a guy just like trying to rob an ATM. He's like, I just want money. Like, I just want to be able to grab this money and leave.
You can just commit tax evasion on that day specifically, file your taxes wrong.
I mean, I guess.
There's so many things you could do that are not murder that people don't think about.
But then, like, they would just find it later, you know?
Ismail, we're talking about The Purge and what you would do in The Purge.
Oh, I would just sit at home. I'm not doing it. I don't have these angry tendencies to begin with, so...
I feel like if you go out during the purge, you're less likely to get killed. Because if you're staying at home, you're just a sitting duck. But if you're out, you're one of the crazy people. You're among them.
I guess, yeah.
You gotta go feral, like tap into your inner... Because, you would stay in?
I mean, they do show a lot of the different people just pass by each other and they're like, I'm just gonna kill you now. And I mean, there's like street fights out there.
Like, you gotta be the alpha. Like, carry a chainsaw, wear a sheep's mask, just do something crazy.
Just go out full Pyramid Head, and people would be like, yeah, leave this guy alone.
Pyramid Head.
Leave this guy alone.
I'm shocked that you would stay in. I don't know.
I would definitely stay in. I'm not even trying to get out there.
I like to think that I would go out and do some crime, but I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Like, in my core, I am not a bad person.
Yeah. Well...
I would find one person that I want to kill, and there is one person that I want to kill, and I would kill them.
I think it's like the third one, maybe the fourth one. It shows how the purge starts.
Yeah, how does this become a law?
It's like a government agenda. It's like a political platform. Like, in an effort to become president, this guy like goes like, we should do a trial run, but he rigs the trial to make people think, yeah, we do need it. Because on the first purge, nobody does any crime. Literally nobody does anything bad. So he lets people out of like maximum prison and lets them loose. Like, he introduces the problem to make it make it look like, oh, people do want this. See? People aren't just having fun. They do want to do this. And he like kills the people that like have the proof that people don't want to hurt people, and it becomes like, yeah, vote for me and we can put this in because look, we did a test and it worked. Everyone's happy.
Can you imagine doing a trial run of a night of crime? That doesn't
But what they do is they isolate it to like the poorest section of Manhattan and say, if you will stay on the island for the night, we'll pay you $5,000 for one night.
Whoa.
Like they're paying poor people to stay there and die. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing.
That's awful.
Like, they're finding people that don't have a choice that would want to stay because they're like, I can finally fix my life if I get this money. Like, they're paying people to stay there and die and then to record what happens.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like, it really makes sense. It's shit that could happen if we were, I guess, ever that desperate for things. You know?
Yeah.
That kind of got me. I do like those movies. That's a good, like, what if scenario. You know?
I've never bothered to watch them because they seem like too cheesy and unattainable and just kind of gory for the sake of it.
Oh, they're not gory at all.
Really?
I think they're really smart movies. I think they're very smart movies. They're a good, like, let's look at this lens as if it could really happen. And
I wonder if those are
That's where you got the whole like people flying in to take part in one night of shit, you know?
The top question on Google is, what day is the purge in real life? Followed by, is the purge illegal?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it's illegal.
Yep, sorry.
Can't do it. Sorry.
Purge is not a thing.
Not yet.
Nor do I think it should be.
No.
Sorry, I'm not going to condone the purge.
No.
On our show. No. I don't think people would be nicer just to know they could hurt people one day.
It's from the producer of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's really good. The first one is really like Hollywood tense thriller type movie.
Yeah.
And then the second one really plays into the world more, and you're like, oh, this is actually like they're actually kind of taking it serious. And the third one, it's a bit more serious, and then I think it's the fourth one where you get how does the purge, how do you even get to this point? And it's a really like fucked up like, oh well, the government sucks. They used us to let somebody become the president so they could become in power, get money, and we all die because of it.
Okay.
It's really good. I quite like them. They're
I'll put that on my list.
They were like an annual movie franchise, so we looked forward to it every year.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah, and they always came out around the 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many of them. There's 5 and a TV show?
Yeah, so there is a TV show now.
So there's
I've still
The
never
Purge,
watched the show.
The Purge Anarchy, The Purge Election Year, which happened in 2016.
Yep.
The First Purge, and The Forever Purge, which is due out in 2021.
Oh, yes, I will go. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And look, July 9th, 2021. 4th of July. I love that they come out on the 4th of July.
Yeah, they're very, like, patriotic kind of a thing, right?
I think you could get into these.
I bet I could.
They're really good.
It does sound like a good movie, the way that you're phrasing it. To me, it just sounded like Hostel, but, like, more.
Yeah, no. I can't really think of a section in this movie that's really graphic.
Okay.
I take it as, like, action movie gore, where, like, yeah, people are getting, like, shot and hurt, but it's not like...
Yeah.
Let's stick a wire under every toenail.
In their eye.
Kind of shit. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
None of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
America. Fuck yeah.
Coming again to do the motherfucking purge, yeah. Well, okay, so Taylor has said that I make movies sound better than they are.
I think you do. You have a talent for
that I
explaining
find,
movies.
Like, one thing that's really cool about it and accentuate it really big. And
yeah.
People go, I didn't take that away from that movie at all. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's there.
That's because you're, like, a fan of cinema, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at just the cheap thrills of the gore and stuff. Like, what else we got going on? Because I love Hostel. I think Hostel is one of the best movies ever. And people call it the torture porn thing, and I didn't get that from it. I got, be careful where you're going, because I truly bought that could be a real... If we can sell people, like, you know, this whole stuff's coming out that, you know, the Pizzagate shit, that we're selling people in furniture, right?
Uh-huh.
You can't tell me that there's not a place somewhere else that people buy us to torture us.
There's absolutely a black market for humans. Like, that's a thing that is currently happening in the world, unfortunately.
So that's why that movie spoke to me, and I saw it way before that. You know, that whole human trafficking thing was a big deal. You know.
Yeah.
But like, Taken made me think about that too. I mean, just the fact of this girl goes on vacation and gets dragged into the sex ring. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's so real.
That's another thing that I don't like in movies is just seeing, like, accurate depictions of slavery and, like, sexual abuse.
Yeah.
It's not a phobia, it's just rough to watch.
Like Last House on the Left.
Yeah, I have not seen that movie, and I won't because it just...
See?
It's too much.
See, I mean, the tiniest scene in that movie is the thing that you don't want to see with that.
Yeah, but still it's there, and like I have to watch that scene if I'm gonna watch the movie.
But it ends so good though. I mean, that movie's old. Now this isn't the original. This is the remake.
And that one is based on a true story, right? Last House on the Left?
I don't think so.
It's from 1972. Wow.
The original, but the one that I've seen was like 2000 something.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen the original one. But the remake one, yeah, there is a pretty hardcore rape scene in that movie. I mean,
yeah,
big time. You could feel the theater like implode on itself a little bit.
Yeah.
But it ends with that family murdering everybody that took part in it. So you're like, nice.
Okay.
Right? I mean, everybody that was part of that incident dies horrifically. So you're like, yep, I feel good.
All right, so it's revenge porn then.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, that was the scene that actually, like, cinched the movie for me. Because I was like, wow, like, they're, like, not pulling out a stop.
Yeah.
Because those things are real, and I feel like not every movie needs to have something that real. But there are movies that need to have it so that we can't become completely absent-minded that it's out there in the world.
Yeah, don't become blind to it or
which is
callous.
why I think I seek those movies, because it's like, wow, like, that shit happens to people. That's fucked up. Make me feel bad about it, you know?
Yeah. Ismail wants to know if we've heard of the Onania Club. Onania.
I definitely have not.
Me either. So, let's see. It is a drama thriller that came out last year. It's a short movie, hour and 20 minutes. Okay. Hannah secretly joins a group called the Onania Club. Its members, strong, independent LA women, get aroused by the misery of others.
Okay.
Hannah meets more misery than she could ever hope for, and in the process loses everything she cares for.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know any of these cast members. Jessica Morris, Deborah Twiss, Karen Strassman, Darcy DeMoss, Stephanie Brass.
Like, see, this is where Fantastic Fest comes into play for me.
Hold on, I'm gonna sell this for you.
Okay.
It's by the director of The Human Centipede.
Okay. Yep. I'm game.
Yep.
Because I finally watched that and I actually really liked it.
Of course you did.
It was so good.
Oh my god.
Like, man, the atmosphere in that movie was perfect.
The atmosphere.
That you were just like, my god, how can you get away from this? It was really good. So, like,
interesting.
You know, I proposed that thing to Taylor about watching movies that we haven't seen like that, right?
Yeah.
And I told her there's movies in that list that I would not make her watch. And they're all basically Fantastic Fest movies.
Yeah.
Because Fantastic Fest has a lot of, like, hard to absorb movies.
Yeah.
It's like there's one that I've really wanted to watch for a long time. It's called Felt.
Felt?
Felt. It's from 2014.
Okay.
It's a girl that is sexually assaulted and starts, like, basically inviting men into her life, and then when they show signs they'll do that, she murders them.
This is a terrifying picture.
Yeah, and she dresses up as men, and I think in some cases she, like, rapes the men and then kills them.
Jesus. Yeah, okay.
She's really taking out the trauma that she experienced back on the people that did it, even if they're not doing it to her at the moment, kind of thing.
I would like you to pull this image up, but I don't think we're allowed to show it on Twitch because
I know which one you're talking about. So here, I'm gonna pull up this one because there's not a doodle in it. Okay.
Okay.
But, like, this is one of the pictures that I remember being sold on. Like, see, she's, like, dressed up as this depiction of a big strong man, right? And she's feeling the power of it by dressing up in it. Because she was used and abused at one point.
Okay. You know? Yeah, so
and I've always wanted to see it.
There's a lot of pictures of her dressed like this, but also like wearing a huge strap on.
Oh yeah. So like this is one of those like this probably won't be like a fun movie to watch.
No, I have to stop looking at pictures of it.
It will
Holy
be
shit.
a hard movie to watch. But I like watching movies sometimes that are just like a little unsettling, like a little too hard, you know?
Yeah.
Because there are people that deal with this shit. Like there are people that have this feeling in their head because they have gone through that.
Right.
You know? Hard Candy was one
that I think was kind of hard. So good.
You know?
It's a difficult watch, but it does it in a much more gentle way than I think a lot of these Fantastic Fest style movies do.
And it also ends good.
Yes.
Because I bet Felt probably won't end good.
Probably not. It doesn't look like it ends good.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Ismail, I don't know what I said for you to go no for me. I know I probably said some wild shit.
Just a good standard base reaction for this whole
I know
podcast.
Like, there's one guy. Let me look up the name of this director. He makes like hard to watch movies like that. What's one of the movies? Okay, so he just released this one.
Irreversible is a hard movie to watch. It had the guy that was in the captain in the captain in Underwater. Irreversible.
So I like how I have Jessie J, Purple Rain, and now Irreversible.
Yeah, I've got a lot of just terrible movies in my search here. I'm like, okay, so this is a French movie. The French know how to do horror movies.
The French do like really like graphic type movies.
Yeah, there's this one movie that I can't remember what it's called, but my sister and I watched it when Netflix was first a thing, and they would like mail you DVDs to watch. It's a French horror movie, and it has these two women in it.
I have two in mind.
Okay. And I forget the plot, but there's like a scene with like a public bathroom, and I think
that is High Tension.
Yes, High Tension. Why are you so good at this?
Because I have seen High Tension. I like that movie.
God.
Yeah, it was either High Tension or Martyrs. Martyrs is Ferdinand's movie. So Martyrs
High Tension
is the one where they literally flay a girl alive at the end, and she has no skin and is just muscle by the end of it.
Oh, God.
That movie's fucked up.
Yeah, so this was a 2005 movie.
Yeah, High Tension. She like loves that girl. She's like lesbian.
Yeah,
but
there's
the other
definitely
girl
like
doesn't reciprocate, and she kind of like loses her mind, and is just trying to get close to her and keep her from leaving.
Yeah,
that was a wild one. Yeah, I do remember that one.
I love that I can just bring you any movie and remember the vaguest bullshit from it, and you're like, I can name that movie.
I needed to work for Suncoast so bad
when
that
was a company.
Like, I could have done it. Yeah. So, this director, his name is Lars von Trier. Have you heard of him?
Oh, life has a challenge for you. We get a movie.
Oh, I'm ready. If I can remember incredibly vague movies. Go ahead and start panning it out while I talk about this dude.
Yeah.
So his name is Lars von Trier, okay? And he makes incredibly divisive movies that it's either you think he's the most brilliant man alive or you think he's just disgusting and gross.
Okay.
And he makes these wild-ass movies, and so he has one called The House That Jack Built, and it's this
I've heard of that movie.
Serial killer and just his life and all the people that he's murdered, and you watch him grotesquely murder these people.
Okay.
Time and time again. I watched his first one here. It was called Antichrist. It's Willem Dafoe, so the Green Goblin from Spider-Man, right? Mm-hmm. And was the lady somebody big? No, the lady was not a big name. But it's Willem Dafoe and this lady. They go out to the woods, and she basically is kind of like... So, like, their kid falls out of their apartment window at the beginning.
Ugh.
And so they're just, like, completely stricken with grief, and they're trying to, like, get away from it.
Yeah.
But when they go to this secluded place, like, it's where like a bunch of witches were buried or something, and they kind of like tap into this grief that's in her and make her kind of go insane. And she winds up like putting a bolt through his Achilles tendon and chaining him to a spot in one part of the movie. It's a fucked up movie, and I got really bored, and I fell asleep like 3 times.
Oh my god.
Well, because all that happens at the end. It's like really slow and drawn out, right? But he makes these like hard to watch movies like this. This one was actually really big. It was called Nymphomaniac. It was big on Netflix and stuff when it came out.
Really?
In 2013. And it's like these horrible depictions of sex because she was like abused. It's like this erotic film thing that's really bad.
She crushes balls.
Okay.
I love our chat.
I've been trying to remember a movie that's probably set at Christmas.
Okay.
There are a bunch of toys attacking humans, and there's a scene where the toys shoot fiery tennis balls through a window, and a young woman hits them back using a tennis racket. That sounds like Gremlins. A little bit.
Let's see.
That
Gremlins.
scene sounds familiar. Actually, it sounds like Small Soldiers. I think it's Small Soldiers.
Small Soldier? It's 1998.
Because
got Kirsten Dunst.
I remember them attacking the people like that.
Ismail says Small Soldiers. He agrees with you.
Yeah, I think it's Small Soldiers. Because that movie's fucking awesome. Love Small Soldiers. And I haven't seen it in a long time because Phil Hartman, that was his last movie, and it makes me sad to see him.
Phil Hartman.
He was... Crap. Hi, I'm Troy McClure from The Simpsons.
Oh.
I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such films as Christmas Ape and Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp.
Okay.
And all that weird stuff.
Yeah.
He was on Saturday Night Live, too.
Oh.
He was in Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's what I see him in here.
He's like the husband that has everything going for him. Or whatever.
Okay.
Well... his wife murdered him in the 90s.
Jesus.
Like, something happened and she, like, straight up murdered him.
Oh, it was a murder-suicide. Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really sad because I think he was one of the funniest people of all time.
That's crazy.
I think he was such a genuine soul. And Saturday Night Live did a tribute to him after his murder one time. And I remember it so vividly because it was one of the saddest things. Because it's one of the sweetest... like skits that he ever did, and that's what they closed with, and it's so amazing.
Man.
And yes, Lev says, boom, Small Soldiers, man is male. There you go.
All right, good job.
Love Small Soldiers. Okay, so see, it's when he said Christmas that made me go Gremlins.
Yeah.
But it was the tennis racket thing that gave it to me, the like hitting them back. And I was like, that's the end of Small Soldiers, I think.
For some reason, I was thinking of Krampus, that new movie.
Oh, that's a good movie, too.
I love Krampus. I'm going to watch that this year again.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Yeah, so those type movies I kind of try to get down on. I'll like to find them. But, so, like... that guy's movies, the Lars von Trier, they end really sad. So actually his second one had Kristen Dunst in it.
Yeah.
And it was actually like a fairly popular movie, but it's not gory like the other ones were.
What's it called?
It's called Melancholia.
Okay.
And it's like... there's a planet that's hurtling towards Earth, and it's like, what would people do knowing that they had, like, 5 days left on the planet kind of thing.
That's cool. There's a David Bowie song called 5 Years where they get, like, an announcement that Earth will end in 5 years, precisely. And it just chronologues, like, the ways different people react to it and stuff. It's very cool and emotional.
So... if you like weirder movies, look up this Lars von Trier guy. I cannot guarantee that anyone will like these movies. I didn't really like the one that I watched. Not because it was too bad. I just thought it was boring. I just wasn't intrigued.
Yeah.
But he makes, like, hard to watch cinema. It always has a point and a purpose. Like, there's a reason that he's pushing you to that limit.
Yeah.
But the Antichrist one, I just didn't respond to. It didn't grab me. And Melancholia put me straight to sleep. I thought it was so boring.
Okay.
But past guest on the show, Mary, she absolutely loves his movies. Thinks they're, like, super brilliant and fantastic. And Melancholia is one of her all-time favorites. So that's one of the things that made me really want to try. Because I brought up the name to him, or to her. And she was like, oh my god, I love those movies. And I can't say that I love them, but I need to try them again.
Okay.
It's like, I'm always looking for something. I'm going to check out this Irreversible. I want to know what that's all about now.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Like, every year, I look up Fantastic Fest, and I read what, like, the big movies are, and the ones that have, like, the really fucked up sounding plot are the ones I typically try to find.
Yeah.
Like, I think Ferdin has even said it, and it's on Netflix. Raw. I think we talked about it once, where this girl is forced to eat meat when her family's vegetarian, and it turns out they're like this kind of creature, and it activates it in her, and she starts eating her friends and family.
Yeah.
And even pieces of, like, herself. So it's a really gory one, but I still haven't watched it. Man,
We've
really want to watch some soldiers now.
We've touched upon a lot of movies today. Do you think we're about winding it down?
Yeah, we're about to hit the 3-hour mark here.
Yeah.
Which would be a pretty good even number to wrap off on.
I agree.
Nobody in chat really gave a phobia movie that they have.
Yeah.
Do you guys have something that you're like, I don't like this type of movie?
Anything that you just won't watch because it strikes a particular chord with you? It plays backwards, but not... What?
That's so the movie that he told me to watch, the Irreversible?
Irreversible? Yeah.
It's a backwards movie. Then I think I've heard of this movie, actually. Like, it's not like it's playing like... Like, you're just seeing all the events unfold backwards.
Okay. There's another movie that's French. And it's about, like, a time loop or time travel. And there's, like, a mummy guy. Let me look this up because I don't want to spoil it. And the only thing I remember from it is, like, a spoiler. So, French movie.
Mummy. French mummy time loop.
Yeah. Time crimes.
Time crimes.
That's maybe it's Spanish. Yeah, it's Spanish, not French.
2007. Okay.
Time crimes is good. I think you will like it.
Yeah, it's got a 89 right there.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to give any indication on it, but you got to watch it.
Okay. So I actually had one more thing for you. I've been hanging on to this whole show.
Okay.
Just for you. It's a double whammy of bad for you.
Oh no.
I was at the store yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I was at the store getting some stuff, and I came across a thing, because we all know how you feel about cereal mascots.
Yes.
And I know how you feel about Funko Pops.
Oh my god, no.
So, Kelsey.
Don't tell me they hurt Toucan Sam.
Oh, no. Okay. So, I was just walking around and I saw this giant ugly face. Look at him!
I hate it!
Okay, that's not his new design.
Good.
They are releasing toys inside the box of 6 of your favorite characters.
Who is that basketball shaped man? No, that's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy.
That's the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy.
What the fuck?
It's cereal mascots in a Funko Pop setting, Kelsey. Just for you.
I hate him.
I knew you would hate it. Look at he's honestly the one that freaks me out. He looks empty inside. So
my God.
So you buy a box of cereal and there's a toy in each one. And so I got
the wolf?
I got the new Cookie Crisp guy.
He's not bad. He's kind of cute.
He's not bad, but he's also not a good Cookie Crisp guy. I remember being the dog running away from the cops.
Yeah.
Trying to steal it. So I was glad I didn't get him because I was going to freak out.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Did you buy that just for the mascot?
Well, I actually wanted some Honey Nut Cheerios too.
Okay.
But yeah, I bought this box specifically because I can get this. And I'm going to eat the shit out of it so I can go buy another box.
Okay.
Because I kind of want the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy.
I mean, he's the least horrifying of all of them because his head is not a weird shape.
Cinemoji, that's his name.
Cinemoji, oh my God.
Cinemoji. Like, he's kind of cute.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
So, Lucky the Leprechaun, kind of terrifying.
All of that, that's horrifying.
Yeah, I don't like him. Chip the Wolf I got. Sunny's not too bad. The Trix Rabbit, it's the mouths that get me.
His head looks like it's cleaved in twain.
Yeah. Aren't the mouths absolutely disgusting?
Empty and horrible.
So, yeah, I wanted to share this with you. I've been waiting to show you this because I knew that the stream was going to be happening.
Thank you for bringing that. It's terrifying.
So, be careful when you go to the stores because this box is just there.
Yeah.
I was like, did they redesign the fucking Honey Nut Cheerios bee? But there's a box right next to it where he's normal. So it's like, just get these. But also, if you're lucky, you can get a gold version of the toy in your box.
Oh, fancy.
But of course I didn't, so I'm sad. But yeah, I've been hanging out of this box the whole time waiting to show you that because I knew that you hated both of those. It's 2 of your phobias in one. A cereal mascot in Funko Pop form.
You know what? As far as like mascot movies goes, the only one I can think of is the Sonic Gold. The only one I can think of is Happy Death Day to You.
Yeah.
Because it involved like the baby.
Mm.
There's a new movie coming out. Do you remember we talked about this? I think off the show. It is a murder.
A murder
thing. It's like a body swapping murder thing. So like, what is her name? The woman from the Pokemon movie, I think, played the young girl.
Like Detective Pikachu?
Yeah. Detective
That's what I was
Pikachu.
doing.
Girl.
Catherine Newton?
Catherine Newton. And she is in a new movie called
The Society?
No. Is it The Society?
I don't know. It says 2019. So that's a bit newer.
Catherine Newton movies.
Oh, that's like a TV show though. So no.
Crap, maybe it's not even her. Dang it. No, it's called Freaky. That's what it is.
Freaky?
Yes. So it's like a Freaky Friday kind of thing.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, so it's a body swapping thing. A notorious serial killer is using a mystical ancient dagger, and it causes him to magically switch bodies with a 17-year-old. And the killer is played by Vince Vaughn.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that trailer. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. It looks so funny.
It looks really good. It reminds me a lot of Happy Death Day to You. I think it's from the same people, perhaps.
I think so.
It just looks so funny and so good.
It's from the director of those.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And he actually wrote the screenplay for Paranormal Activity 2.
Huh. Look at that.
Look at this guy. He's good.
Look at him go.
Okay, so that says 2020. It says November. You think it'll really come out still?
I don't know. I hope that they just stream it.
It says it is going to be released, but it's going to go video on demand December 4th. So barely 2 weeks in the theater, and then you can just get it at home.
It's good enough for me.
Oh, man. Well, gotta write that down for when that becomes a thing, too.
Yes.
See, there's too much.
I know, there's too much.
Because I've told you about it, but I've never been able to show you. Here's my list that I have on my phone. Here's my keep of all the movies that I have listed to find and watch like that. Like,
that's a lot of movies. Oh my god.
There's so many like that. Let's see. So I've got this one called The Final Girls.
Mm-hmm.
So another trope of scary movies is that there's
the
always
the
one girl left at the end, right?
Yep.
This is a movie of all girls, and it's like, who's gonna be the last one? But the thing is, they're actually in a movie, and there's somebody outside of the movie affecting it, changing who will be the one to live. So it's like a weird, like, Inception-y kind of idea.
Huh.
There's this one called When Animals Dream. It's a girl who's slowly turning into a werewolf.
Huh.
And, like, her mind coming to cope with the new thoughts that are being introduced in her head.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
A metaphor for puberty, perhaps.
This movie called Spring. The voices. I have Deathgasm.
Deathgasm.
I wrote it down. It must be good.
Must be good.
Like, Taylor was going through this list of movies I had, and she was like, "Do you even remember what these are?" And I was like, "No." So I looked up one, and she goes, "It's called Blindness."
Uh-huh.
And it's people that go blind, but they just see like a searing white light. Like, they don't go like black. Everything just goes white for them.
Sounds like a bad time.
And this one lady is not affected, and she's trying to break her husband out of this prison for the blind people like that. So she's
prison for the blind,
leading these people out because they're like trapped in this asylum, kind of, because they're like the blind. It's Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore.
Oh, I love them.
Like, big people, right?
Yeah. And
she goes, "Why'd you write this down?" I was like, "I don't remember." So I looked up the plot, and she goes, "That sounds great." And I was like, "That's why I wrote it down."
There you go.
Like, I have them here for reasons. I got this one called The Changelings. I got The House of the Devil. Didn't you just talk about that?
The House of the Devil?
Maybe not. I have weird movies in here, and I don't even remember what they are, so I have to look them all up again. Ooh, here's one called The Voices.
Ooh.
Before we go, I want to know what that one is again. The Voices, a 2014 film. Here we go.
That's an older one then, not a coming attraction.
Is it that one?
There's one coming out in 2020.
No, but I wrote this down a long time ago.
This looks real creepy.
It could be that one, but I watched that one with Ryan Reynolds. His like animals talk to him, and they like tell him. It's like his cat is like his bad, like, devil on the shoulder kind of thing.
Okay.
And then his dog is like the good shoulder, right? But like they're like his real dog and cat in his house. And the cat's always saying, like, "You should kill people. Nobody likes you. Like, you should just get rid of anyone that's mean to you." And the dog's like, "No, you shouldn't do that. That's mean." And the cat, he accidentally kills this girl that he goes on a date with, and it all goes downhill from there.
Okay.
It was fantastic. I guess it is that one.
Yeah, The Voices 2020 is receiving very bad reviews, so I don't know if you would like this one.
Definitely watch the Ryan Reynolds one. It's much better. And it's on Amazon Prime Video.
Ismail says he watches a YouTube channel called Foundflix, and the person reviews horror movies. He did a recent one that looks good called The Wailing. The Wailing, 2016. Oh, it's South Korean horror film. You know it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah. Gotta write that down.
2.5 hour movie. Goddamn.
Foundflix. I could do it because I actually do get on YouTube and look up like best horror movies upcoming for this year, and that's how I found Photograph, the one where they burn the photo and it burns that girl's arm for real. I found it through that thing. Yeah, I have weird movies written in this thing, and most of them are easily accessible now. One is Anna and the Apocalypse.
I remember you telling me about that one.
It's a Christmas zombie musical.
Yes. That checks all my boxes.
It's on Hulu, and I still haven't watched it.
Okay.
It's like stupid that I haven't seen this movie, because it's 3 years old now.
Dang.
So, well, I'm sufficiently spooked. I'm glad I didn't look at any shark pictures while I was doing this, though.
Yeah.
I thought about pulling some out, but I was like, nah, then I'll just get freaked out.
Okay. Shall we read our boilerplate YMBToAP ender?
If you want.
All right. Well, guys, while you're on this stream, please tell your friends about us, help us grow our audience, and don't forget to subscribe to us on your most favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We release weekly every single Monday, and now we're doing these live shows every single month.
Yes.
So if you got a second and you like what we do, please go out to Apple Podcasts, rate and review us. It really helps us find more subscribers and listeners just like you.
And don't forget, while you're out there, go to YMBToAP on Twitter, Instagram. We got TikTok, which we do some of our headliners on. We got our Facebook page, and we do the YouTube and Twitch. Trying to really make some good use of Twitch. All of October, though. All of October. We're here every Saturday.
We are.
Every Saturday doing something spooky for Halloween.
Next week is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes. Last week we did Inside, which was just weird.
Absolutely wild.
I keep thinking about the blob at the end so much still.
Yeah.
You know, today was actually supposed to be something different, but they changed the scheduling on us. So we talked some good scary movies, things that freak us out in movies. Yeah, we got Doki Doki coming up. Then we got our spooky tabletop game.
Yes, Mansions of Madness. It's Cthulhu themed.
And then we wrap it off with Halloween night. I mean, we will be on Halloween night. It's not like we can go out and, you know, get candy, so.
We ain't trick-or-treating.
We will be doing PT, which is just sheer awesome. It's the greatest
sheer
thing
bliss.
Ever. I can't wait to play that and talk to you guys about it. It'll be the first time I played it headphones, too, so I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm so excited.
If you like the Twitch thing, we're going to do this once a month, we think.
Yep.
If there's anything that you'd like to see us talk about live like this, send that to us at our email, ymbtoap@gmail.com. It's written up there in the top of our little screen right there, top right. You can see... I can't go that far.
Right here. This. Yeah. That.
Right up there.
This.
You can find us on all those platforms. Send us whatever you would like to maybe see us talk about, or a game that you're like, ooh, you guys should look at this one day while you do it. We don't really have a set format for what those live shows will be.
I'm really enjoying this live show format already because, like, when we record, people don't know this, but we talk for like 45 minutes before and after the show, and then there's a good like
all of it out.
Yeah, there's like a good half hour in the actual show that we talk, and then we also cut out. So this is like the full unedited thing that y'all are getting. So if you like it, let us know.
Yeah.
If you think we have some things we can improve upon, let us know. We always want to do our best for you.
And since we were talking about that, send us a listener mail on your movies that give you the most phobias. Are there certain types of movies you will not watch? Certain movies that you have watched that have just scarred you for life?
Yeah.
Send us that kind of stuff.
And don't forget that we are doing our sticker for sticker campaign. You can get a sticker that looks like our social media logo, or you can get one that looks like our podcast art, or you can get both if you are so inclined. All you got to do is go get your vote out. Get the vote happening. Make it do.
Make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do.
Yeah.
Get your vote in.
So I get to vote in 3 days.
Yes, I'm excited.
So I will be there.
Early voting. I think that's all we got, right?
Yeah. Don't really have a theme song in this one, so...
Nope, no theme song to talk about, but go ahead and check Faraj out on YouTube anyway, because he's very good and very fun. Thank you, as always, for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. Should we have looked at some more shark pics?
No, I don't think so. Underwater was enough.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.